Chapter 1812. Ning Yun and July were cultivating in the city in the sky because the secondary body of the Haotian pagoda was currently in the city in the sky. Night Sorrow's clone in the Heaven Sealing Hall informed Ning Yun and July to come to the Medicine Valley. After Ning Yun and July received the notice, they took their children to the Medicine Valley and went to the bamboo forest peak to meet Night Sorrow. Ning Yun's child was called Ning Jing. He was also a young man. The three of them met Night Sorrow. Ning Yun still didn't know why his master called him here. It's almost time for the Medicine Valley's disciple recruitment hall. You and Chiua are both my disciples. You also need to take in disciples and develop the legacy. Yi Shang looked at Ning Yun and Chiua and said, Master, you are accepting disciples at this apprentice hall? Ning Yun asked in surprise. I am a disciple of the Medicine Valley. I have been traveling outside these years. You and July haven't stayed in the Medicine Valley, but this doesn't deny that we are the core disciples of the Medicine Valley. You will also need to settle down for a period of time in the future, so I am opening the apprentice hall. Night Sorrow nodded. We understand. Ning Yun and July bowed to Night Sorrow. Then I will set up a dojo for you and your wife later, Gong Xian said with a smile. He was very happy. In fact, this was what many people wanted to see. Gong Xian and the others didn't care about the apprentice hall. They all stayed in the bamboo forest peak because it was rare for Night Sorrow to come back. There were only 2 disciples in the Taixian peak. It was very difficult for Night Sorrow to accept another disciple, but Night Sorrow's disciples were already very good at accepting disciples. When you accept disciples, first focus on their temperament, then on their aptitude. Before the apprentice hall, you must first come to my statue at Pill Tripod Cliff to pay your respects, Night Sorrow instructed. Uncle, don't worry. Since July and Ning Yun are accepting disciples, we naturally have to bring them to pay respects to the Grandmaster, July said with a smile. That's not the reason. Do you think I care about that? Night Sorrow smiled. 13. Why is that? Huanan asked. Ning Yun and July were not the only ones who didn't understand. Gong Xian and the others didn't understand either. Night Sorrow then told them that he had injected a strand of soul power into the sculpture at Danding Cliff. Originally, his statue at Danding Cliff had been worshipped by many people over the years. It already contained a very strong power of merit and faith. He injected his soul power into it and could sense everything outside. If an evil person came, he would be able to sense it. 13. In the future, when the Medicine Valley accepts disciples, all the new disciples will go to Danding Cliff to pay their respects. That way, we will be able to get rid of those with bad morals, Wu Qi said excitedly. Second senior brother, how can I care about so many things? I can only pay attention to the matters of my own sect, Night Sorrow said with a smile. It's settled then. In the future, during the Medicine Valley's disciple recruitment ceremony, the new disciples must go to Danding Cliff to pay respects to our merit emperor, Gong Xian made a decision. Eldest senior brother, that's not appropriate. There are many people in the Medicine Valley who are older than me. It will make people feel bad, Night Sorrow said. 13. You are the Realm Lord of the 9 Domains world, the Realm Lord of the Chaos Realm, and the only Merit Emperor of Reincarnation. Who can't afford to pay respects to you? Yang Lei said with a smile. Then, Wu Qi asked people to arrange a dojo for Ning Yun and July. Normally, there should be 2 dojos. However, because the 2 were husband and wife, 1 was enough. The Medicine Valley was no longer the Medicine Valley of the past. With the development of the 9 Domains world, the mountains and rivers were growing. The Medicine Valley's area had expanded by more than 10 times. There were also several mountains around the main peak of Taixian Peak. There was no problem in building a dojo. Because there was still time, Night Sorrow accompanied Sikong Chuyu to pay respects to his father-in-law, Sikong Tianding, and mother-in-law. Then, they returned to the bamboo forest peak to settle down. As for the disciple acceptance ceremony, Night Sorrow didn't go. He just stood on Danding Cliff and watched. When he saw Shi Yunhai, Yu, Gu Lin, and Jiang Han, Night Sorrow came to them. Are you guys accepting disciples? If you don't have anything to do, let's find a place to have a drink. We haven't had a drink together for many years. Ha! No, let's drink first. Besides, the disciple acceptance ceremony won't end today. If you come out, I won't have to look for you. I originally planned to go to Taishan Peak in a while. Now, there's no need. Shi Yunhai said with a smile. Night Sorrow and the others went to the back of the Medicine Valley's main peak. Shi Yunhai roasted a wild beast, and they drank. Shi Yunhai and the others were very happy. It wasn't that they were happy to drink with the Emperor, Night Sorrow, but that they were still brothers in the same sect. Night Sorrow and his wife stayed in the Medicine Valley for half a month. As for the Tianding Gate moving to the Medicine Valley of the Nine Zones world, he didn't have to worry about it. As long as the Medicine Valley was stable, it was enough for him. Night Sorrow brought his wife back to the Celestial Realm. When Night Moon Villa, the Demon King and Pu Luo were talking about something. After sitting down, Night Sorrow asked, "What's the situation?" "We can confirm that Yuan Ji is in the Celestial Realm's Celestial City. Near the Celestial City's City Lord's office, an emperor of the Demon Wing clan was found. It should be a doppelganger. I think it's monitoring Yuan Ji," the Demon King said. "The most important thing is the information. If we can find out all the emperors of the Demon Wing clan, we can attack. If not, we can only wait," Night Sorrow said. "It's very difficult." They opened a space-time tunnel. In order to send as many people as possible, they will come with their real bodies and doppelganger. 7 people's real bodies and doppelganger make up 14 people with combat power. Maybe one of them has a real body or doppelganger on Tianhuang. That means there are at least 13 of them. The one who self-destructed is 12, Pu Luo said. Excluding the one hiding in the Human Dao Alliance in the Divine Capital and the one monitoring Yuan Ji, there are still 10 missing, said the Great Demon King. Who is currently in charge of the Demon Wing clan member monitoring Yuan Ji? Night Sorrow asked. This is a big matter. It's not suitable to leave it to others. My doppelganger will go, Pu Luo said, patting his chest. Wait for their next mission. They will definitely use the teleportation portal in the Celestial Realm to come to the Celestial Realm. When that time comes, will they still be able to hide? Night Sorrow pointed out the key point. Okay then. I will watch over the teleportation portal. I will find them, the Demon King said, accepting the mission. After spending a day at the Night Moon Villa, Night Sorrow went to the Celestial Capital. He was a little worried about Jun Xuanji, so he wanted to see how Sha Mo was doing. After finding Lu Yu and asking about the situation, Night Sorrow frowned. Sha Mo was still the same. He often explained cultivation techniques to Jun Xuanji. He even said that he didn't get tired of it. What are you thinking about? Yu Zhu asked Night Sorrow. Chapter 18:13. After pondering for a while, Yishang came to a realization. The Demon Wing clan's target in the Divine Capital was not him but Jun Xuanji. But why did they come for Jun Xuanji? That was the crux of the problem. After pondering for a while, Night Sorrow had some ideas in his head, but he suppressed them. He could only wait and see. Elder Yu Zhu, how's the development of our humanitarian league going? Night Sorrow asked. Translator, Endless Fantasy Translation Editor, Endless Fantasy Translation, very good. Recently, we have expanded our territory. You are a talent, Yu Zhu said. You are a good person. Yu Zhu said. It's better to take it slow. We're punishing evil and promoting good, but we still have to give some people a chance to repent. If we use violence to wipe them out, we'll lose the strength of the human race, Night Sorrow said. You don't know, right? The Elder of the Black Dragons appeared near Tianhuang City and was defeated by the 7th Elder. If he didn't run fast enough, he would have died in Tianhuang City. Of course, he's just an ordinary Elder of the Black Dragons, Yu Zhu said. What kind of grudge do the black dragons have with us? Night Sorrow asked. I don't know. Although we have conflicts with other divine beast clans, we're on the same side against the Demon Wing clan. However, the black dragons will attack us whenever they have the chance, Yu Zhu said. They have conflicts with other clans? Night Sorrow was surprised. Yes, you know about the Divine Devil Castle, right? It's a force that belongs to Tianhuang City. However, there are some things that only the law enforcement elders know. Back then, the great guardian of the Divine Devil Castle injured the Golden Dragon. Of course, it was just a fight. Yu Zhu told Night Sorrow some things that Night Sorrow didn't know about. The Divine Devil Castle is a force of Tianhuang City. Night Sorrow was shocked. There are some things that can't be mentioned. Perhaps I'll only understand when I reach a certain level. There are some races that are hostile to humans. The black dragons are the leaders, and the flying snakes are with them. The white tigers and the black dragons are good friends, but the white tigers have never fought humans before. Yu Zhu explained to Night Sorrow. It's very complicated. If you want the human race to be stable, you have to rely on your own abilities. Night Sorrow sighed. Yes, the human race has been developing for the past few years. The Godly Devil Castle was built for the sake of unearthing human elites, said Yu Zhu. Night Sorrow nodded. He understood. The human race had been working hard all this time. It was just that ordinary people didn't know about it. After staying at the Night Moon Villa for a while, Night Sorrow arrived at the peak of Yawu Mountain. When King Yawu saw Night Sorrow, he pointed at the chair in front of him. At this moment, Lin Piaomiao's original body and Fen Tian were cultivating in seclusion. They had just passed the Heavenly Dao tribulation and had room for improvement. Is there something wrong? King Yawu asked. Yi Shuang hesitated for a moment before asking. Disciple would like to ask, if someone's soul reincarnated and had some accomplishments, before they awaken, can you place a seal on their memories of their previous life, which is to say, their memories of their original body, allowing them to walk the same path as they did in this life? Why are you asking this? Do you have doubts? King Yawu stood up. Disciple is a little conflicted. I'm not sure, but I have some vague ideas. Sha Mo of the Demon Wing clan has come to the divine capital. His target isn't me. Night Sorrow said. Why do you think so? King Yawu asked. The first time we met, he was very surprised to see me and even showed hostility. This means that he didn't expect me to appear at all. This means that he came to the divine capital not for the disciples but for Jun Xuanji. Yi Shan closed his eyes and calmed himself down. If it wasn't necessary, he really didn't want to say it. After hearing Night Sorrow's words, King Yawu fell into deep thought. Before she awakens, I can't be 100% sure. Even if the Demon Wing clan's almighty reincarnated, he wouldn't tell the ordinary Demon Wing clan members about this. The mission of these Demon Wing clan members is only to protect her and support her to the greatest extent. King Yawu explained to Night Sorrow. Disciple doesn't want to be suspicious. If it's a personal matter, Disciple can accompany her. But this involves the human race. Night Sorrow was a little distressed. It's still early. She's still far from the Imperial realm. Even if she's the reincarnation of a female almighty from the Demon Wing clan, there's still time to solve the problem. I'll help you think about this and try not to hurt her. King Yawu said. Disciple even wants to prevent her from becoming an Imperial realm. But if she's not, it's not fair to her. Night Sorrow shook his head and sighed. He really couldn't solve this matter. If she's the reincarnation of a soul, it won't be difficult for her to become an Imperial realm. First of all, the original body has incredible achievements, which means that she has some heavenly fate in her body. In addition, her cultivation talent won't be bad. There's no reason why she can't become an Imperial realm. You don't have to worry about this matter. I'll deal with it. If she's the reincarnation of a soul, I'll first determine who the aura belongs to. If she's a human or another foreign race without any misdeeds, we won't stop her from rising. If it's the other possibility, then I'm sorry. King Ye-Wu expressed his decision. Then I'll deal with it. But I hope you can be gentler on account of the fact that we're from the same world and she's contributed to the Nine Zones world. Night Sorrow bowed to King Ye-Wu. Don't worry. I'll make a move later. No matter if she's the reincarnation of a soul or not, I won't be in a rush, Night Sorrow said. Night Sorrow felt more at ease. Then, he left Yawu Mountain. Although he didn't want to suspect some things, the Demon Wing clan's actions wouldn't be without reason. So, he had to have a backup plan as long as he didn't hurt Jun Xuanji. After chatting with Ruisi and Yuzhu for a while, Night Sorrow returned to the Night Moon Villa in the ethereal Imperial City. Night Sorrow didn't practice his spear. Instead, he drank tea and thought about things. He was worried because the Nine Zones world was very deep. It was so deep that even a realm lord like him couldn't control it. Night Sorrow felt that he had to make some arrangements. Thinking about this, Night Sorrow went to Star Moon Lake and met with Qing Emperor and Tang Jianfeng. Master, Uncle Tang, there aren't many high-level cultivators in the Nine Zones world right now. Help me set up a Monarch Realm law enforcement team to patrol the Nine Zones world. All Monarch Realm cultivators have to be recorded, Night Sorrow said. Night Sorrow, are you afraid that an Emperor Realm cultivator will appear and go out of control, endangering the safety of the Nine Zones world? Tang Jianfeng asked. That's right. Night Sorrow nodded. If a lightning tribulation appears in the Nine Zones world, as a Realm Lord, you should know, right? Qing Emperor looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Chapter 1814. As the Realm Lord, Night Sorrow knew about the lightning tribulation in the Nine Regions world. Moreover, he would rush over in time because the tribulation of cultivators would not end quickly. Of course, as the Nine Regions world developed, its surface area would expand infinitely. In the future, Night Sorrow might not have enough time to reach a remote place. However, by then, he should have the ability to solve some problems. Night Sorrow, you are worried and confused. Qing Emperor said with a smile. Master, Qing Emperor's dynasty is the first force to develop the Nine Regions world. How is the situation now? Night Sorrow asked with a smile. Fortunately, the construction of the city has already reached a certain scale. However, we did not let our people go out to train. After all, we have to give the natives of the Nine Regions world some opportunities. Qing Emperor said. He was still arranging the development of the forces under his command in the Nine Regions world according to his previous plans. Night Sorrow thought for a moment and said, after a while, we will be able to develop freely. The elites of the Nine Regions world need space and time to develop. Those who are slightly weaker will need other forces to bring them along. When the time comes, they will join other forces and learn from their masters. Taking advantage of opportunities to rise up is also a path. Realm Lord, can the people of our Xianhuang Great World develop in the Nine Regions world? The Nine Regions world is full of vitality. This is something that the three great worlds of our primal chaos realm cannot compare to. Tang Jianfeng was also interested. Yes, but for now, it can only be built. In the next 30 years, high-level cultivators cannot go to the Nine Regions world to train and seek resources. Night Sorrow said to Tang Jianfeng. Okay. As the Realm Lord, you are really considerate of the lives of the Nine Regions world. Naturally, we will not break this order. Tang Jianfeng nodded. We, our ice dragons also want to develop. We will also make a base in your Nine Regions world. The Far East Icefield. We will give the Far East Icefield of your Eastern Profound Domain to the Ice Dragons. Shilia appeared and also asked for territory. Translator, Endless Fantasy Translation Editor, Endless Fantasy Translation Uncle Lai, you can develop in the Eastern Icefields, but there is one place you must leave behind. East Snow Mountain is where my Auntie Faye lives and cultivates. In addition, you cannot attack my Auntie Faye when she goes in or out of the Eastern Icefields, Night Sorrow said. Uncle Lai, Shi Tai, and Shi Yu have all met King Wu. There won't be any misunderstandings. The ice dragons won't set foot in East Snow Mountain, Shi Lai promised. Then it's settled. Night Sorrow nodded. After that, Night Sorrow went to see Fan Tian. Fan Tian stayed in an illusion array within the Star Moon City, along with the Divine Capital's law enforcement team and a few protectors. Senior brother, thank you for your hard work. Night Sorrow took out a teapot and brewed a pot of tea before inviting the other protectors to sit down. There's no need for such polite words between us senior and junior brothers. The environment of this Star Moon Lake is not bad, it's quiet and pleasant. Fan Tian said with a smile. After asking if there was anyone who needed his cooperation and chatting for a while, Night Sorrow returned to the Night Moon Villa and continued to cultivate his spear arts. Every day, Night Sorrow spent his time cultivating his spear arts. Everything else was on track. On this day, the Great Demon King found Night Sorrow. It won't be easy to dig them out. The guy who is watching UNG hasn't left Sky General City during this period of time. There are only 2 emperors in Sky General City, including UNG. This means that those people aren't in Sky General City. Each of them has a doppelganger. The doppelganger and the original body are in 2 different places. They don't need to meet to send messages, so there's no need for them to leave. Night Sorrow said. Then do you think we can find an excuse that isn't a racial conflict and get rid of the demon-winged clan member who is watching UNG? Then, they can send more people out. That way, we can follow the vine and find the melon. The Great Demon King said. Then, the Great Demon King explained his plan. Night Sorrow couldn't help but admit that the Great Demon King wasn't easy to deal with. He was full of evil tricks. The Great Demon King's plan was to pretend to be a secluded rogue cultivator in the Sky General world. He would first find trouble with UNG and say that UNG didn't deserve the title of Domain Lord. Then, he would kill the chicken to warn the monkey and get rid of the demon-winged clan's emperor. Of course, he wouldn't kill UNG. He would use the excuse that he didn't want to be the Domain Lord to get some benefits. In the end, he would either leave or follow UNG's invitation and sneak into the Sky General City Lord Manor. That way, he would be able to come into contact with the demon-winged clan. Great Demon King, you're shameless. Lin Piaomiao looked at the Great Demon King with disdain. As long as it's to eliminate evil, the method doesn't matter. Isn't that right? Lin Piaomiao, have you always been white? If you were white, would you be able to drag Night Sorrow down to your bed? I can't be bothered to talk to you. The Great Demon King looked at Lin Piaomiao with disdain. Alright, hurry up and go. Night Sorrow was speechless. If he said anything else, the 2 of them would start fighting. The Great Demon King left. He wanted to switch between his original body and his clone. It wasn't suitable for his clone to do these things. The demon-winged clan's emperor wasn't a fool. To be able to differentiate between his original body and his clone, he had to use his original body to do these things. After killing the demon-winged clan's people, he had to make the demon-winged clan's people befriend him and make use of him, the emperor, to do things. Night Sorrow, there are some things that can only be understood and not explained. How can you just dig it out? The Great Demon King is too unkind. Lin Piaomiao blushed at the Great Demon King's words. It is unkind, but isn't it the truth? Pu Luo, who had been sitting at the side drinking tea, said. Scram! An apple on the fruit plate beside Lin Piaomiao flew out. However, Pu Luo was already prepared. In a flash, he ran out of the hall and hummed a tune. Let's go to Twilight Manor to drink tea. I love tea. I'm not paying the bill. Night Sorrow was speechless. The cheerful Pu Luo in the past had learned how to anger people. He went to Twilight Tea House to drink tea and hung up the bill. Was he short of a few tens of thousands of Saint Spirit stones? That was nonsense. He wouldn't even be short of a few million. He just wanted to enjoy the feeling of not paying the bill after drinking tea and then leaving. You've all learned bad things. Lin Piaomiao was so angry that she laughed. However, she knew that this was how friends communicated. If they looked down on you and didn't want to hang out with you, people like Pu Luo and the Great Demon King wouldn't say anything unnecessary to you. That's good. They're all true to themselves. Now, let's see how good the Great Demon King is. I don't doubt his ability to kill people. If his acting skills are good enough, then it'll be a success. This is a huge trap. All the members of the Demon Wing clan who came through the space-time tunnel will be wiped out, Night Sorrow said. Night Sorrow, don't be fooled by some people's appearances. No matter if it's Pu Luo, the Great Demon King, Ruisi, or Yuju, any one of them is a lord of the human race. Their abilities are definitely outstanding. It's just that they don't like to show that side of them. If they want to do something, it's impossible. This is a huge trap for the Demon Wing clan, Lin Piaomiao reminded Night Sorrow. Chapter 1815. Then it's up to you. Night Sorrow said. At this moment, a black-robed old man appeared in the sky in front of the Tianjiang City Lord Manor. Little Trash dares to call himself an area lord? Get out here. With this shout, the black-robed old man's energy exploded, causing the City Lord Manor to collapse. Yuan Ji, who had been pondering in the City Lord Manor, was dumbfounded. He hurriedly ran out of the manor because he couldn't see the black-robed old man's cultivation. The black-robed old man was naturally none other than the Great Demon King who had changed his clothes and appearance. May I ask who you are? Yuan Ji hurriedly bowed when he saw the Great Demon King. You don't have the right to know. So this is the real area lord. The Great Demon King's body flashed and flew toward the courtyard where Mo Taisher was hiding. After arriving, he suppressed him with his domain and attacked with his sword. Mo Taisher was an expert among the imperial emperors, but the Great Demon King was an expert among the imperial emperors who had passed 6 tribulations of the heavenly Tao. The two couldn't be compared at all. After killing Mo Taisher, the Great Demon King returned to the City Lord Manor. I don't want to be an area lord. I'm not in the mood to manage things. But can that trash be an area lord? Did he give me a heads up? Even if you were the area lord, I wouldn't be so angry. My lord, please sit inside. We can talk in detail. Yuan Ji's face was full of fear. The Great Demon King was too strong. He killed Mo Taisher with just a few strikes. At least you know what's good for you. I want to kill him whenever I see him. The Great Demon King snorted coldly. Yuan Ji led him into the undamaged City Lord Manor's backyard. Then, as Yuan Ji probed further, the Great Demon King explained his situation while cursing. He fabricated his background as a cultivator who had been cultivating in seclusion in the great wilderness of the Tianjiang domain for close to 10 billion years, and had only recently decided to come out for a walk. Senior, you can stay in the City Lord Manor. If I become the area lord, you will be the supreme of the Tianjiang region. Yuan Ji said directly. He naturally wanted to rope in a cultivator with tyrannical combat strength. Prepare a mansion for me and pick some good-looking women. Forget about those below the 8th step, but those above the 8th step who are good-looking and talented in cultivation are also good. Pick a few of them and keep them if I have a descendant. The Great Demon King made some requests in order to be more persuasive. Then this junior will arrange it immediately. Yuan Ji wasn't afraid that the Great Demon King would have a request, but he was afraid that he wouldn't have one. The Great Demon King stayed in a luxurious residence arranged by Yuan Ji. Yuan Ji was very excited. The death of a demon wing race's monarch didn't have much to do with him. However, with such a great expert by his side, it was different. He had the confidence to cooperate with the demon wing race. Mo Taisher's doppelganger had perished, and his main body had reported the situation to Ma Tian Tuesday. Damn it, how did such an expert suddenly appear in the heavenly general domain? I don't know if Yuan Ji can resolve this crisis. Mo Tiantu's mind was filled with anger. He had brought a limited number of people with him, and losing one was one less. Taisher, you recover first. I'll use an energy doppelganger to investigate. Mo Tiantu didn't dare to send people rashly. If the great demon king went crazy and killed them, the loss would be even greater. He couldn't afford to lose so many people without doing anything serious. Everything went smoothly. The great demon king told Night Sorrow, Lin Piaomiao, and Pu Luo about this. You're too shameless. Eighth step beauties, and pretty ones too. Can't you have some backbone? Before Lin Piaomiao could say anything, Pu Luo spoke up. Isn't this the best way to show your humanity? That way, we can avoid suspicion. Besides, I've set up an illusion array, so no one will know what's going on. It's very easy for this demon king to leave something in the memories of an 8th rank sovereign king. The great demon king said. We don't know if you've really done anything. Lin Piaomiao glanced at the great demon king. You can't doubt my character. I have a queen and a concubine in my own realm. I won't eat just anyone. The great demon king was dissatisfied after hearing Lin Piaomiao's words. That's because you're not thirsty. If you're thirsty, don't talk about food. You'll eat the leftovers like a bun. Pu Luo took a sip of tea and said. Night Sorrow was about to drink some tea when he heard Pu Luo's words. His hand trembled and the tea almost spilled on his face. Talent. He realized that the few elders of the human Tao sect were all talents. All right. I'll eat it. What can you do? Just wait for my news, said the great demon king. Yuan Ji was still a little afraid. The great demon king's appearance was a bomb that could explode at any time in his cooperation with Mo Tiantu. He was afraid that the great demon king would be disgusted and lose his life. He planned to test the great demon king's attitude. Yuan Ji came to the great demon king's residence. The great demon king was leaning on a recliner and eating precious fruits. A maid was massaging his shoulders behind him. Why is it so difficult for you to get a few level 8 women? Do you want me to find them myself? Seeing Yuan Ji, the great demon king roared in dissatisfaction. Senior, Yuan Ji will make the arrangements in a while. However, there are some things that I would like to seek your opinion on. Yuan Ji bowed and said. That bastard was killed by me. Aren't you the ruler of the realm? What can't you decide? The great demon king said impatiently. It's like this. A few days ago, some people wanted to cooperate with me. They intend to use our Tianjiang realm as a stronghold to fight with the forces of the celestial realm. Yuan Ji handed a fruit to the great demon king. A man's hands are dirty. Don't touch my fruit. Using the Tianjiang realm as a stronghold. Fine. What are the benefits? Are there any benefits? The great demon king pointed at the fruit to the maid beside him. He looked like a master. There are some benefits. I will send them to you in a while. However, they seem to have a shady background. Yuan Ji tried to test the great demon king's attitude. Do you have a pig's brain? You are the ruler of the Tianjiang realm. You only care about getting resources from the Tianjiang realm. Who cares about their background? What does it have to do with us? So what if they are from the demon-winged race? As long as there are suitable benefits, there are no eternal enemies. Can you still be the ruler of the realm? If you can't, we will replace you. The great demon king glared at Yuan Ji with dissatisfaction. Yuan Ji understands. Before sunset, the king-level beauty will be sent to you. Yuan Ji felt relieved and left the mansion. Ha! The great demon king's clone in Night Moon Villa laughed. That pig! You even want to test this demon king? This demon king made him burst with joy. Then, the great demon king sat on the recliner and played the roles of two people. He imitated Yuan Ji's voice perfectly. That works? Isn't he just waiting for the demon-winged race to take the bait? Night Sorrow was surprised. He didn't expect the great demon king to be so good at deceiving people. Yuan Ji was sold and he was still so happy. Chapter 18:16. Can you be more shameless? Tell Yuan Ji that since you can cultivate to the emperor level, your family's bloodline and talent should be pretty good. Don't you have any sisters or daughters? Send me too. Pu Luo imitated the great demon king's voice. Sure. That's a good idea. Pu Luo, you have a bright future. The great demon king gave Pu Luo a thumbs up. Don't go overboard. It's not good now, Lin Piaomiao said. She was worried that the great demon king would go overboard. That character is an arrogant and despotic master. Yuan Ji can't wait to suck up to him. You don't have to worry about it. I'm going to have fun. The great demon king closed his eyes and rocked his chair. His mind was on his main body. That B*TCH is invincible. Pu Luo shook his head. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao looked at each other and laughed. The great demon king had made such a despicable character. He was indeed invincible. Elder Lin, you have to keep an eye on Night Sorrow. Don't let him be as despicable as the great demon king. If he's so despicable, he's really uncontrollable. Pu Luo said. Night Sorrow won't. If a woman looks at him twice, he'll blush. Besides, he doesn't eat everything. Lin Piaomiao said with a smile. Hurry up and F*CK him. Yes, he doesn't eat everything. Pu Luo laughed and left. Night Sorrow, what do you want to eat? Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and asked. What food? Sister Xian, you've been led astray by them. Other than the food at home, I don't eat anything else. Night Sorrow said helplessly. Hee hee. I'm just joking. Don't take it seriously. How can your husband not understand? Lin Xian said with a smile. Seeing Night Sorrow's conflicted expression and not knowing where to start, Lin Xian sat beside Night Sorrow and said. Then I want to eat food today. Night Sorrow looked at Lin Xian and said. Ah. Lin Piaomiao blushed. The great demon king started to stir up trouble in the Sky General region. He really did what Pu Luo wanted, and was not satisfied with the women sent by Yuan Ji. He wanted high-level cultivation women from the Yuan family. Yuan Ji agreed without hesitation, and sent the 2 unmarried Yuan family women to the great demon king's mansion. However, the great demon king didn't take advantage of this. He only used his soul to influence the 2 women, making them believe that something had really happened. Even if Yuan Ji asked, he wouldn't be able to get anything out of them. When they no longer needed it, the great demon king would remove his influence on their souls, and they would understand the truth. The great demon king wasn't willing to take advantage of her. Not only did he fail to take advantage of her, but he also ended up being called a heartless man. Yuan Ji and Ma Tian too talked about the situation of the great demon king. Although Mo Xiantu was very angry about the death of Mo Tiesher's doppelganger, he knew that the current situation was not dire. With the great demon king overseeing the Tianjiang region, they were relatively safe. However, there were still some problems that needed to be solved by Mo Xiantu. The great demon king wanted resources, and Yuan Ji didn't recognize them. Naturally, Mo Xiantu would have to provide them. Without any other choice, Mo Xiantu's incarnation came to negotiate with Yuan Ji, and agreed to provide the resources. However, Mo Xiantu hoped that the great demon king could help him out when the time came. When Yuan Ji passed on the message, he was directly chased away by the great demon king, who told him to talk with him. At this time, Mo Xiantu had no choice but to talk, because the great demon king was now a double-edged sword. He would either help them or suppress them. This time, Mo Xiantu came personally from the small world to Sky General City, and arrived at the great demon king's mansion. First, he took out the gift, and then spoke of his thoughts. It's not that I can't help you this time, but it depends on the situation. You want me to kill an emperor, and this is the gift? Scram as far as you can. The great demon king looked at the gift and said. There's definitely no emperor. We just want to capture a city. Senior, please help us to deal with some unexpected situations. They have a teleportation array. Senior, please occupy the teleportation array as soon as possible. We can solve some problems on our own, Mo Xiantu said. If that's the case, that's fine. But remember, don't mess with me. Otherwise, you can imagine the consequences. Also, if you have anything else to do, hurry up and arrange it. I'm going to take these beauties out to play. I don't have time to waste with you. The Great Demon King waved his sleeves and chased Yuan-ji and Moshiantu away. Yuan-ji and Moshiantu returned to the City Lord Mansion. How's your infiltration going? Moshiantu looked at Yuan-ji and asked. We've entered Xingyue City, but it's impossible to secretly teleport to Night Sorrow's world. There's an emperor guarding it. We have to fight and occupy it instantly. After we enter the 9-domain world, my doppelganger will dismantle the teleportation array in Starmoon City. This way, even if they want to go back to help, they won't be able to. My doppelganger will take the main body of the Emperor-grade teleportation array and the 9-domain world's teleportation array crystal and hide them. In the future, we will decide where to set them up. That realm will be completely under our control, Yuan-ji said. That's right, but you can't do it alone. With your strength, any emperor can snatch the teleportation array crystal and the crystal back. I'll send someone to follow you, Moshianta said. The emperor-level teleportation array was too important. Naturally, Moshianta couldn't let Yuan-ji control it alone. You don't trust me? Yuan-ji was an old fox. He naturally knew what Moshianta meant. Whether or not we can return from the realm depends on this emperor-level teleportation array. Our fates can't be in your hands, right? Moshianta said bluntly. Yuan-ji looked at Moshianta for a while, then smiled. He knew that there was no room for negotiation. If it were him, he wouldn't put his fate in someone else's hands. Besides, Yuan-ji also had some concerns. Right now, Demon Wing Clan was not his only target. If they didn't cooperate well with him, they could go to the Great Demon King. It would definitely work. With beauties and resources, the Great Demon King wouldn't refuse. At that time, not only would the 2 direct descendants of his Yuan clan be given away for free, he wouldn't get anything. Since we have the help of this great expert, we can attack directly. Let this great expert take control of the teleportation array and cut off the connection between Misty Imperial City and Xingyue City. Then, we'll have enough time to take control of Xingyue City. Moshianta was afraid that things would change if they delayed. He didn't want to follow Yuan-ji's route of infiltration. That's fine. Are your people ready? I can arrange a team, but there will only be one emperor, Yuan-ji said. Chapter 1817. /Yuyong. Geo 6 free * read novels. The Great Demon King's clone told Night Sorrow and the others that they could set up an ambush in Starmoon City. They could also start preparing for a full-scale attack on the Celestial Domain. He felt that Yuan-ji and the others were about to make their move. Lin Piaomiao mobilized Luo Yuandao's Shadow Army and followed Night Sorrow's secret teleportation formation to the Celestial Domain. After ambushing Yuan-ji, Ma Tian-tu, and the others, the Misty Dynasty would also complete their control of the Celestial Domain. In addition, Night Sorrow, Lin Piaomiao, and the Great Demon King's clone arrived at Starmoon Lake. Pu Luo took the secret teleportation formation to Celestial Domain. He was going to monitor the teleportation formation. If 1 or 2 Demon Wing clan members were missing, he would use the teleportation formation to determine where they came from and which small world Ma Tian-tu and the others were hiding in. Once the battle started, the Demon Wing clan's emperor would inevitably be killed. At that time, the seal on them that prevented divination would disappear. They could then use divination to determine where the Demon Wing clan was hiding. However, divination was not omnipotent. If you were given the surrounding environment and location, how could you check if you did not know which world it was? If you knew which world it was and the location, there would be no problem. Everything was ready. Night Sorrow and the others were waiting for Yuan-ji, Ma Tian-tu, and the others to take the bait. In order to avoid being discovered by the spies in the Celestial Domain that had infiltrated Starmoon City, Night Sorrow and the others went to Datura first. They sent away the people around the teleportation formation and then teleported over and stayed in the illusion formation. Star Moon City's defense formation was very advanced. There were both illusion formations and killing formations. Ma Tiantu's main body reported everything that happened in the celestial realm to Mo Tianji. He was actually a mouthpiece. Everything was under Mo Tianji's command. It's a good thing to meet an insatiable expert. After this is successful, that imperial-grade teleportation formation will be in your hands. Only then will you be absolutely safe, Mo Tianji said. Ma Tiantu understands. Ma Tiantu bowed. Right now, we don't have the ability to bring you back. After this operation is over, if you hide well, we will win. Mo Tianji was also quite excited. With her main body back, she would be able to recover to her peak state after a period of recovery. Once her soul reincarnated clone awakened its memories and needed to break through, she would be able to fuse with it and break through her shackles. The only variable is that greedy guy. If he doesn't betray us, then this matter will be settled, Mo Lu said. Hurry up and take action, lest any undue delay brings trouble. After this cooperation, hide as deep as you can. Also, pretend that Sha Mo doesn't exist in your team. He is fully responsible for nurturing that woman, Mo Tianji gave another order. While Yuan Ji and Ma Tiantu were preparing, the ethereal dynasty had already completed their preparations. If it was just eliminating a few monarchs, it wouldn't be difficult. In fact, it could even be said that a monarch could hire a few diviners to find the whereabouts of the monarchs. The reason why Night Sorrow and the others were so cautious was because they didn't want any fish to escape the net. If they didn't completely eliminate them, it would be difficult to catch them again. With the craftiness of the demonic wing race, even leaving one alive would cause endless trouble. Who knew which one he would bribe or which one he would instigate? For the human race, some unstable factors existed. A sturdy fortress wasn't afraid of external attacks, but it was afraid of internal disintegration. Ma Tiantu and Yuan Ji communicated again and prepared to take action. The two of them found the Great Demon King and told him that they were going to start the operation. Alright, let's finish this quickly and get back to business. The Great Demon King patted the chest of the Yuan clan girl that Yuan Ji had sent over. The Great Demon King followed Yuan Ji and Ma Tiantu to the teleportation array. After waiting for a while, demonic wing race people came out. However, including Ma Tiantu, there were only 9 of them. Night Sorrow and the Great Demon King had calculated that there should be 10 demonic wing race people. Ma Tiantu left one behind, because if something really happened, they wouldn't lose their fire seed. However, at this time, Pu Luo's voice came from the Great Demon King's Spirit Sea, telling him not to worry and to continue the operation. Once all of these demonic wing race people were killed, he would do a quick divination. The Great Demon King tidied his robe and communicated with Pu Luo through soul transmission. He would lead these people into the huge pit in Star Moon City and quickly finish the job. Afterwards, the diviner would use the corpses for divination. After that, he would accompany Pu Luo to catch the remaining evil. The Great Demon King's clone also informed Night Sorrow to prepare for battle and that they were missing one person. Get ready, diviner. Do the divination at any time. Lin Piaomiao said to the divination master of the Misty Dynasty. Night Sorrow, this time, I will take back the colored glass Saint Bone that I owe you. Tsang Ning's face was full of killing intent. If asked who wanted to kill Yuan Ji the most, it would be Tsang Ning. Yuan Ji not only tricked her, but also almost killed her and Wu Feng. What kind of enmity was this? This was a life and death grudge. That's not what you owe me, it's what Yuan Ji owes me. It has nothing to do with you. Night Sorrow said. These are all small matters. The teleportation has already begun. Everyone, prepare for battle. This battle can solve some hidden problems. The Great Demon King said. Soon, under Yuan Ji's lead, the Great Demon King and the 9 monarchs of the demon-winged clan arrived at the periphery of Star Moon Lake. The remaining part of the journey is to fly across Star Moon Lake and attack Star Moon City. Yuan Ji said. I'm only in charge of killing. The rest is up to you. Your Yuan clan's women are quite tasty. Go back and send me 2 more of your Yuan clan's women. The great demon king said to Yuan Ji. He was too lazy to talk to Moshiantu and the others. After we return, this junior will send it to senior. In this battle, we must first control the teleportation formation and cut off their reinforcements. By the time their reinforcements arrive, everything will already be over. The corner of Yuan Ji's eyes twitched. It was true that the Yuan clan was a big clan. However, there were not many women in the clan who could cultivate to the king realm. If the great demon king wanted them all, he would have them all. Moreover, these women were of different generations. It was not reasonable for all of them to give themselves to a single person. However, Yuan Ji did not dare to refute. After explaining the battle plan once more, the great demon king and the others flew towards Star Moon City. The distance was not far. Moments later, they arrived above Star Moon City. Then, the group rushed towards the center of the city. The instant they landed on the ground, some of the scenery changed. Some illusion arrays stopped operating, while others started operating. Night Sorrow and the others also appeared from the illusion arrays, surrounding Yuan Ji, Moshiantu, and the others. Trap! Senior, hurry up and kill. Take us out! Yuan Ji roared. Seeing Lin Piaomiao, Yuan Ji understood that this operation had failed. He knew that the great demon king was very strong. However, there were too many experts surrounding them. Night Sorrow, wasn't it beautiful this time? The great demon king walked towards Night Sorrow. You betrayed us. Yuan Ji finally understood. Chapter 18:18. After saying something that shocked Moshiantu and Yuan Ji, the great demon king turned around and threw out a sword attack. It was very sudden. His target was not Moshiantu or Yuan Ji, but Sha Mo. Sha Mo was still shocked by the sudden change in the situation. Added with the fact that the great demon king had suddenly used his emperor realm to suppress him, he did not manage to dodge the sword attack. In fact, he could not dodge it at all. The way you look at me can be filled with admiration or disdain. But, forget about that look of disdain. Those who used to look at me with that look are all dead. After putting away his weapon, the great demon king lifted his chin at Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow gave the great demon king a thumbs up. Right now, the one who should be killed the most was Sha Mo. They could not let him be alerted. Otherwise, there might be some changes in the godly capital. Who the hell are you? Yuan Ji knew that he had lost. He had been tricked this time. I am the great demon king. I am friends with Night Sorrow and Master Lin, the so-called Misty Battle Emperor. Do you think I should teach you a lesson? Ha! The great demon king laughed. Blame me for being blind. You played with the women of my Yuan family and tricked my family. You will suffer retribution. Yuan Ji's face looked very ugly. You are blind. That is for sure. As for playing with the women of your Yuan family, forget it. This demon king doesn't do everything, and I don't fancy just any woman. I really didn't do anything to those women in your family. The great demon king said. He could take the blame for some things, but he wasn't willing to take the blame for others. Stop lying to yourself. I have asked them, and they said it themselves. Yuan Ji's face turned pale. You are stupid. I have bewitched their souls and instilled some subconscious in them. Do you understand? You are so stupid. I don't want to waste my time talking to you. Fen Tian, get to work. The great demon king attacked as soon as he finished speaking. A few emperors attacked together. In just a short moment, all the people brought by Yuan Ji and Moshiantu were killed. Not a single one escaped. Fortune tellers, find out where their base is. Lin Piaomiao said to the fortune tellers. One of you, divine where this guy's clone is. Sang Ning pointed at Yuan Ji's headless corpse. The clairvoyant began to get busy, and soon divined the location of the only member of the Demon Wing clan. Yuan Ji's clone had also been found in Tianjiang City. Keep an eye on the various teleportation arrays in the Tianjiang domain. We'll start capturing people, Night Sorrow said. Following which, the cleanup operation began. The arresting party brought along a group of diviners and began to perform divination on the corpses. Supra, our new chapter J, Yuan Ji's clone was captured and killed. However, the remaining demon wing race's monarch was very capable. Even so, it was only a matter of time before it was captured. The spatial world that Ma Tiantu and the others were temporarily residing in was very small. It was a barren world. The surface area wasn't big. If multiple emperors went in to capture it, this devil wing race's emperor wouldn't be able to escape. Night Sorrow arrived at the god capital and asked about Sha Mo's situation. Sha Mo was still by Jun Xuanji's side. Sha Mo also knew that he was in great danger. However, even if he was in danger, he couldn't retreat. He wanted to bet that Night Sorrow and the others hadn't discovered his existence. As long as he could help Jun Xuanji rise, his mission would be completed. Luo Yuandao's Dark Shadow Army had already taken over the entire Tianjiang domain, and the Yuan clan was a thing of the past. The Great Demon King removed the sole control he had on the Yuan clan's women. You will serve me tea for a few days, and I won't make things difficult for you. However, I have a few words of advice for you. Walk your own path. The past has nothing to do with you, and the future has nothing to do with you. If you still have hatred in your heart, then you will be doomed eternally. The Great Demon King looked at the Yuan clan's women and said, Thank you, my lord. Yuan Ji gave us away without considering our feelings. We are just cannon fodder for the Yuan clan. A Yuan clan's woman said. All right. Since all of you are able to cultivate to the sovereign king realm, you must have your own sense of right and wrong. If you really have any problems that you can't solve, you can go to the Night Moon Villa of the Ethereal Dynasty and mention it to the Great Demon King. The Great Demon King left after leaving some Saint Spirit stones to the ladies. The Great Demon King had a murderous nature, and he was a bit despicable. However, he had a bottom line. He couldn't do things that hurt the innocent. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao looked at the teleportation array of the Demon Wing clan's monarch's small world. The others continued to search. They had to catch this Demon Wing clan's monarch and kill him. As for Sha Mo in the Shen-Du city, Yi Shang planned to ask King Ye Wu for his opinion later. Inside the Demon Emperor city, Ma Tiantu's face was ashen. He knelt down before Mo Tianji and said, My lord, the operation failed. Yuan Ji and our people were all killed. That expert was one of them. I don't know how he got into the Sky General region. Failed. Then, what's the situation on Sha Mo's side? Mo Tianji's face was as cold as ice. She was so close to success, but it flew away just like that. Sha Mo's doppelganger was killed, but I destroyed his body as soon as I could. I also destroyed everything in the area where his body was. I don't know if they can divine it, Ma Tiantu said. The chances of him surviving are not high. Mo Tianji said coldly. After hearing Ma Tiantu's report, she came to the conclusion that since the human race had sent out so many emperors, this matter would be very important. It would be easy to dig it out. I deserve to die. I'll kill myself to atone for my sins. Ma Tiantu waved his hand and slapped the top of his head. Looking at Ma Tiantu's body, Mo Tianji snorted coldly and left the palace. She was now faced with a choice. Should she continue to search for her original body, or should she merge with her current body? This was a difficult problem for Mo Tianji. If it wasn't her body, the compatibility wouldn't be perfect. After merging, there would be restrictions on her future development. Even if it was 90% compatible, it wouldn't be enough. However, if she didn't merge, she would face the problem of not having much combat power. If she wanted to merge again in the future, it would take a lot of time because she didn't know when there would be a big battle. Most importantly, Mo Tianji was worried that the human race's big shots would discover her relationship with Jun Xuanji and use him to attack her original body's soul. A soul without a body was like a rootless duckweed. If that really happened, she would suffer a great blow. After thinking for a while, Mo Tianji decided to merge with her original body. She would think about the future in the future. After half a month, Pu Luo found and killed the demon-winged race's emperor that was left in the small world. Knight Sorrow went to Yawu Mountain to see Marshal King Ye and reported what had happened. Chapter 18-19. Yes, he's the only one left. Knight Sorrow nodded. Sha Mo is being watched by the guardian elders of the divine capital. He can't run away. Marshal Uncle, think about how to deal with him. You have to consider everything, King Yewu said. Thank you, Marshal Uncle. Knight Sorrow said with a bow. She's your friend. Otherwise, I wouldn't have left Mo Tianji half dead and never let her recover. King Yewu's face was filled with killing intent. The hatred between the Demon Wing clan and the human race was too great. However, he didn't want to make things difficult for Knight Sorrow. Then, can we deal with Mo Tianji without hurting Jun Xuanji? Knight Sorrow asked. With Mo Tianji's cunning, she's probably on guard now. Besides, Jun Xuanji is a human now. We humans have a bottom line. So what if Mo Tianji recovers? She dares to fight. We humans will fight to the end. King Yewu's body exploded with towering heaven spear intent. I understand. Yi Shang finally understood. Even if Jun Xuanji was the reincarnation of Mo Tianji, there were some things that King Yewu was unwilling to do because she was a human. Yi Shang's true body was still in seclusion, and his doppelganger had already left Yawu Mountain. He knew that this was how King Yewu had handled this matter. If it had been the human clan council of elders in Tianhuang City, they would have killed 1,000 innocents rather than let a single one go. Yi Shang's exile was an example. After returning to the Night Moon Villa, Knight Sorrow felt a little touched. If Jun Xuanji really regained his memories one day, what would the situation be like? With some thoughts, Knight Sorrow arrived at the Humanitarian League headquarters. Lord, what's wrong? Are you not in the mood? Jun Xuanji asked Knight Sorrow to sit down. I don't know what's going on, but I have some thoughts and want to find someone I know to talk to. I'm not an area lord here. I'm just your friend, Knight Sorrow said after sitting down. You can all leave. Jun Xuanji waved at Liu Yu, Sha Mo, and the others, then brought Knight Sorrow to a loft behind the Humanitarian League. Knight Sorrow, what's wrong with you? You're young and promising, you should be high-spirited, you should point your sword at the world. Jun Xuanji took out a jar of wine and placed it in front of Knight Sorrow. She noticed that something was wrong with Knight Sorrow's mood. I just feel a little emotional. Xuanji, how many years have we known each other? Knight Sorrow opened the wine jug and poured wine for himself and Jun Xuanji. 170 years. 170 years may be a short moment in the long lifespan of a cultivator, but it's a lifetime for me, Jun Xuanji said. A single life is the same for me. I don't make friends easily. When I make friends, I treat them with sincerity, Knight Sorrow said after taking a sip of wine. Thank you for treating me as a friend, Jun Xuanji raised his glass to Knight Sorrow. Translator, Atlas Studios Editor, Atlas Studios, as long as you're Jun Xuanji, we'll be friends for life. Knight Sorrow finished the wine in his glass in one gulp. As long as Knight Sorrow is here, I'll always be Knight Sorrow's friend, Jun Xuanji. Even if the heavens fall and the earth rends, it won't change. Jun Xuanji poured a full glass of wine for Knight Sorrow. Knight Sorrow didn't say anything. He felt a little bitter in his heart, but he couldn't say it. Jun Xuanji could be said to be one of his most important friends. The most important thing between friends is understanding and trust. You, Knight Sorrow, have done it. Jun Xuanji drank the wine in his glass and poured himself another one. Knight Sorrow and Jun Xuanji drank a few jugs of wine, but neither of them got drunk. Knight Sorrow, you might be confused, but all I can tell you is that we'll be friends forever, Jun Xuanji said. Knight Sorrow stood up and walked outside. After taking a few steps, Night Sorrow looked back at Jun Xuanji. I hope you'll always be Jun Xuanji. Friends rely on each other. In the future, if you're confused, remember your friend, Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow left. Jun Xuanji was a little puzzled, but he was also happy because Night Sorrow was willing to be his friend for life. After returning to Night Moon Villa, Night Sorrow took a bath and began practicing his spear. After chatting with Jun Xuanji, Night Sorrow felt a little better. At this time, King Yewu appeared beside the training ground where Night Sorrow was practicing his spear. Because he was focused, he practiced for 2 hours. When Night Sorrow put away his spear, he saw King Yewu. "Martial uncle, when did you come? Why didn't you call me?" Night Sorrow wiped the sweat from his forehead. King Yewu told Night Sorrow that he had arrived at the Humanitarian League when he was drinking and chatting with Jun Xuanji. He just didn't show up. "Martial uncle, I'm sorry. I can't let a friend fall into the abyss and not help him," Night Sorrow said guiltily. "Martial uncle understands. That's why you're the Merit Monarch and others aren't," King Yewu nodded at Night Sorrow. King Yewu had come down to Yawu Mountain to check on Jun Xuanji's situation. When he arrived, Night Sorrow and Jun Xuanji were talking. "You're only going to see her because you're sad. But what you don't know is that what you just said will remain in the depths of her soul. Even if she wakes up one day, it will be an indelible memory. Martial Uncle's idea is to strengthen her soul so that her soul will be eternally stable and have her own thoughts. She can exist independently and won't be fused with Mo Tianji. Your approach is very much in line with Martial Uncle's idea," King Yewu said. "I see. Then I'll go talk to her every day," Night Sorrow said. King Yewu shook his head. "That won't have much effect. How about this? Bring her over and let Martial Uncle talk to her." Night Sorrow returned to the Humanitarian League again and called Jun Xuanji to the Night Moon Villa for a family banquet. Liu Yu and Sha Mo wanted to follow but were stopped by Jun Xuanji. "Night Sorrow, it seems that something about me has troubled you. But after thinking about it, I don't think there's anything wrong with it," Jun Xuanji asked, puzzled. "You'll understand in a while. Remember, we're friends," Night Sorrow said as he put his arm around Jun Xuanji's shoulder. "You're putting your arm around my shoulder? Aren't you afraid that Battle Emperor, Luo, and the others will be jealous?" Jun Xuanji said with a smile. "No, not at all. They won't mind because you're Jun Xuanji," Night Sorrow shook his head. "Since you're not afraid, I'm not afraid either. I noticed that you're in a much better mood." Jun Xuanji turned to look at Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow didn't say anything. The two entered the Night Moon Villa with their arms around each other's shoulders. Then, they went to the waterside pavilion at the back. At this moment, King Yewu and Lin Piaomiao were drinking tea and chatting. "Xuanji, let me introduce you. You know Piaomiao. This is my martial uncle, King Yewu," Night Sorrow said to Jun Xuanji. King Yewu. A giant of the human race, the city lord of the divine capital, Jun Xuanji's eyes were filled with shock. He thought that she didn't expect to meet such a big figure. Chapter 1820. Senior King Yewu, what do you want me to do? "I dare not disobey," Jun Xuanji said with a bow. "I'm not here today as a human overlord, but as Night Sorrow's martial uncle." King Yewu pointed at the chair opposite him and sat down. Translator, Endless Fantasy Translation Editor, Endless Fantasy Translation, Senior, please speak. Although Jun Xuanji didn't know what was going on, he knew that King Yewu, a top human overlord, had come to see him for something big. "I won't beat around the bush. Sha Mo, who is beside you, is the Demon Wing Clan's emperor. He came to you to help you rise because you are a subordinate of a Demon Wing Clan's overlord," King Yewu said straightforwardly. Jun Xuanji couldn't help but stand up. His expression changed. "How could this be? You're not going to kill me, are you? Sit down first." King Yewu shook his head. "Xuanji, martial uncle is here to solve the problem." Night Sorrow helped Jun Xuanji sit down. "You are Night Sorrow's friend. Night Sorrow doesn't want you to be hurt and has been working hard. As his martial uncle, I naturally have to help him. Even if I can solve the problem, there are some things I don't want to do. Now, let's talk about your future. First, you will awaken your memories and know that you are someone's subordinate reincarnation. Then, you will merge with the original body and disappear from this world. Second, you will be killed by other human overlords before you can merge with the original body. Third, you will always be yourself, King Yawu said. My lord, I don't want to be killed. I still have dreams. I don't want to be someone's subordinate. I just want to be Jun Xuanji, Jun Xuanji said in a low voice. Since you have made such a decision, I will naturally support you. Apart from the few of us here, the news won't spread. The human clan's council of elders won't make trouble for you, King Yawu said. Will my soul be invaded in the future? Jun Xuanji now understood why Yi Shang was so worried. If it's a powerful being from the Demon Wing clan, she must have a lot of tricks up her sleeves. There will be many methods, but it's not like I don't have a way. Take this egoism secret art and cultivate it. It will isolate some of the effects on your soul. In the future, it will be very difficult for anyone to affect your soul. You have to be firm in yourself. Remember, you are Jun Xuanji. King Yawu took out an ancient book and handed it to Jun Xuanji. Jun Xuanji thanks my lord. If I can strengthen myself, I will come again to thank my lord. Jun Xuanji stood up and bowed deeply to King Yawu. This concerns the human race. I will not sit by and do nothing. Don't resist. I will help you place a seal in your spirit sea. As for the damage, if you are some almighty who wants to fuse with his spirit, then I am sorry. I will not allow the Demon Wing clan to stir up trouble. If you are Jun Xuanji, then there is no problem at all, King Yawu said. Sir, please cast the spell. Jun Xuanji said without any hesitation after sitting down. King Yawu stretched out his hands. As his fingers danced, a spinning energy formation disc appeared in the air. The formation disc was filled with rhythmic runes. Night Sorrow, use the Human Emperor's seal to imbue it with the Human Emperor's power, King Yawu shouted to Night Sorrow. Yi Shang took out the Human Emperor's seal and used the power of virtue to activate it. He sent a beam of energy towards the disc array. Only by using the power of virtue to activate the Human Emperor's seal could the energy emitted be called the power of the Human Emperor. The energy emitted by the Human Emperor's seal contained golden runes. It was the sacred scripture of the Human Tao, the Book of Taoism. King Yawu completed the formation disc and pressed down with his right hand, pressing the disc into Jun Xuanji's spirit sea. Thank you, my lord. Night Sorrow, I have made you worry about me, Jun Xuanji said to Night Sorrow after bowing to King Yawu. I didn't want anything to happen to you, so I was worried. Now I am relieved, Night Sorrow said. I knew something was wrong when I saw that you were absent-minded. But I couldn't guess what it was. Sir Battle Emperor, have you dealt with the Demon Wing Sovereign Emperor? I don't want things to mess with my mind. Night Sorrow, I plan to return to the 9-domain world. She wants to succeed, but I won't accept my fate. I can stay in the 9-domain world forever. She can't go anyway, Jun Xuanji said to Night Sorrow. There is no need to escape. What will come sooner or later. Cultivators are not afraid of any challenges. King Yawu didn't support Jun Xuanji's idea of returning to the 9-domain world. Then I'll face it bravely. If one day I can't take it anymore, or if I change, Yi Shang, I hope that you'll end me and send me home, Jun Xuanji said as he looked at Yi Shang. Everything will pass. Night Sorrow turned and hugged Jun Xuanji. Night Sorrow then asked Lin Piaomiao to send Jun Xuanji back and deal with Sha Mo. After Jun Xuanji and Lin Piaomiao left, Night Sorrow poured a cup of tea for King Yawu. Thank you for your hard work, Martial Uncle. Not at all. This is the first time Martial Uncle fought with Mo Tianji. She lost completely because she has no chance of fusing with Mo Tianji. Martial Uncle tricked her, King Yawu said with a smile. No chance of fusing with Mo Tianji? Night Sorrow was stunned. Yes, Mo Tianji has no chance of absorbing Jun Xuanji's soul. Jun Xuanji's future will either belong to him or be annihilated, King Yewu said. Knight Sorrow nodded. He knew that this was already a merciful method. If it was some other radical human race sect elder, they might have destroyed Jun Xuanji. Tell Lin Piaomiao about this. Let's stop here. We will talk about the future in the future, King Yewu reminded Knight Sorrow. I understand, Martial Uncle. Why didn't you teach me the solipsistic secret technique? Knight Sorrow asked. You want to learn everything. Is your Tao heart unstable? You have cultivated the high heaven spear art and the spear intent in your heart is soaring to the sky. Who can shake your will? King Yewu said with a smile. So that's the case. Then I will work hard to cultivate the high heaven spear art, Knight Sorrow said embarrassedly. Cultivation techniques are created. Whoever creates them will naturally be most suitable for that person. Taking other people's cultivation techniques is just a reference. Do you understand what Martial Uncle means? King Yewu looked at Yi Shang and asked. I understand, Knight Sorrow nodded. Whether it is the high heaven spear art or the immemorial spear art, they only have artistic conception. In other words, they can only open a window for you. As for what kind of door it opens, it is up to you. Actually, Martial Uncle is looking forward to it. King Yewu stood up and left in 2 flashes. After thinking for a while, Knight Sorrow felt that there was no need to see Jun Xuanji now. He should give Jun Xuanji a chance to calm down. While Knight Sorrow was thinking, Lin Piaomiao returned. How was it? Knight Sorrow asked Lin Piaomiao. Chapter 1821. Then I'm relieved. We don't have to worry about this at this stage, Knight Sorrow said. With Martial Uncle's help, Mo Tianji shouldn't be able to do anything. Lin Piaomiao nodded. King Yewu's name had been passed down for a few eras. Lin Piaomiao knew him very well. B knew you knew J fastest G up are, this storm is over. I've been nervous for a while, Knight Sorrow said with a sigh. How should we deal with the Sky General bounded area? How should we split the benefits? Lin Piaomiao sat opposite Knight Sorrow. She cleaned the teapot and started making tea. Sister Xian Air, I think it's better to take out the Sky General bounded area, Knight Sorrow said to Lin Piaomiao. Lin Piaomiao nodded and signaled for Knight Sorrow to continue. Knight Sorrow meant that the elders of the Humanitarian League had all contributed. They wanted to take out the Sky General bounded area as a base for the Humanitarian League. Sure. We're husband and wife. You can make the decision for us. I'm not interested in fighting for territory. If I was, I would have wiped out the surrounding forces long ago, Lin Piaomiao said with a smile. Knight Sorrow nodded. He knew that Lin Piaomiao didn't care about this. She hadn't asked about the ethereal kingdom for many years. Developing forces and fighting for territory were usually done by middle-level cultivators. It was to gather resources for the rise. Lin Piaomiao, Great Demon King, and Pu Luo didn't care about this. Of course, Knight Sorrow didn't care either. He didn't lack resources either. No emperor dared to say that they had more resources than Knight Sorrow. After making the decision, the two of them went to Night Moon Villa's hall. They called Pu Luo and Great Demon King, who had rushed back from the Ethereal Kingdom's region. Alliance Master doesn't speak easily. You gathered everyone here. Is something the matter? Yu Zhu said as she trimmed her nails. Yes. The Sky General bounded area has been taken down. Now, it's time to rule and manage it. You have to send someone out, Knight Sorrow said. Who are we sending? Reese asked, confused. In the future, the domain will become a base for the Humanitarian League. Naturally, it will need to be managed. If you don't send people, how are you going to manage it? Knight Sorrow asked. Knight Sorrow, the Ethereal Dynasty is stabilizing the situation there. Let's give it to the Ethereal Dynasty. The Heavenly General region is also within the Ethereal Dynasty. Besides, everyone is just killing each other. They didn't do much, so no one will mind. The great demon king, who had been resting with his eyes closed on the recliner, opened his eyes. That's a different matter. With the bounded domain as a shield, no matter what kind of war happens, there's a guarantee. Send some people to report to the Humanitarian League headquarters, Night Sorrow said. Since Night Sorrow had said so, the others did not object. A realm that could not be forcibly entered without a teleportation array was extremely safe. It was extremely difficult to set up a teleportation array between the celestial realm and the bounded domain. Just like the celestial realm and the chaotic realm. If Night Sorrow had not passed through the extremely difficult to find passage, he would not have been able to enter the celestial realm. Even though there were many experts in the celestial realm, the origin of the realm had a self-protective consciousness. You could destroy it, but it was impossible to pass through the spatial barrier. Aside from special reasons such as the passage, the teleportation array was set up by cultivators under King by chance. Yuan Ji, for example, ran to the Heavenly General region to control the teleportation array. It was extremely difficult for Tsang Ning to kill him. The Heavenly Saint Emperor entered the small world. Even the great demon king could not kill him. Now that we have a firm foothold in the fairies' capital, some things should be settled. Night Sorrow, when do you plan to deal with the White Emperor city and the Haitian dynasty? Pu Luo asked. Pu Luo, shouldn't we stop for a while? Otherwise, people will think that we are too good at jumping around and can't do anything big, the great demon king said. Yes, I also suggest that we stabilize and develop. Our Humanitarian League's territory and influence are big enough, Lin Piaomiao also expressed her opinion. Other than the current situation, she felt that Night Sorrow also needed to calm down. 2 years later, Night Sorrow would participate in the Vanguard Battle of the 100 Races Alliance. He needed to improve his strength. I have a feeling that the situation is not very stable. The Black Dragon's elder went to the Tianhuang city and the Demon Wing clan used some means to send their clansmen here. This indicates that something big is going to happen, the great demon king said. That's true. You, Elder Lin, and Fan Tian have just passed the Emperor Tribulation. There is a lot of room for improvement. Strength determines ability. If you can improve, do it. If we have the strength to fight side by side, we will be invincible, Pu Luo said while rubbing his hands. His pair of iron fists had once made great contributions to the human race. After chatting for a while, Pu Luo stood up and walked out of the mansion's hall. Is there anyone going to the ethereal imperial city for tea? I like to drink tea and not pay the bill. Reese and Yuzhu followed with laughter. It was convenient to have the emperor-level teleportation portal. They had to go to the Twilight Tea House again. However, Night Sorrow had already told Chen Chen about their situation. That's too despicable. One person is despicable, and now there are 2 more of them. Lin Piaomiao shook her head helplessly. The 3 of them have been through life and death together. So, if Pu Luo calls, they will definitely follow, the great demon king said. If I didn't already know, I wouldn't believe it if others told me that Pu Luo is the elder of the Human Clan's Council of Elders. Night Sorrow shook his head with a smile because in his eyes, Pu Luo was a wanton, carefree, and sunny man. You can't tell, right? In terms of popularity, no one is better than Pu Luo in the Human Clan's Council of Elders. Let me put it this way. If Pu Luo is in trouble and asks for help, many people will be willing to help. This is something that the other elders can't compare to, the great demon king said. What about you? Night Sorrow looked at the great demon king and asked. Do I need to ask for help? I have a brother, but he never shows himself in front of people. The great demon king smiled confidently because he could solve the problem by himself. I have brothers too. I don't know how they are now and whether they will still recognize me as their brother in the future. At the mention of brothers, Night Sorrow thought of Tianyu and Long Jin. They were all brothers who had gone through life and death together. Night Sorrow, brotherhood is not divided by race. The Golden Dragon clan and the Cyan Rock clan are on the same side as the Human clan. When they return to their families, they will awaken the memories of their race, but some things are already buried deep in their souls. Brothers are for life. The Great Demon King threw a jar of wine to Night Sorrow. Chapter 1822. Is bloodline awakening very powerful? Night Sorrow asked. Sect Elder Lin, if you have the time, why don't you give your man more knowledge? Asking such an idiotic question will be a joke to others. You're embarrassing the Human Tao Alliance. I, the Great Demon King, am ashamed to be associated with you. The Great Demon King didn't try to hide his disdain at all. Ha! Night Sorrow, let me tell you. Bloodline is very important. Being outstanding or mediocre is determined by your bloodline. Lin Piaomiao smiled. She also realized that Night Sorrow was indeed very ignorant in some aspects. With Lin Piaomiao's explanation, Night Sorrow understood more. The body and soul were the most important components of life. Not to mention the soul, bloodline inheritance was related to the body. In the Golden Dragon clan, there were no members below the Emperor realm. Once their bloodline awakened, they could reach the Emperor realm. The deeper their foundation, the more terrifying their bloodline awakened. It was the same for the Green Rock clan. They were a clan with outstanding talent. Because their bloodline was too high, there were very few divine beasts with pure bloodlines. Therefore, they couldn't dominate the world. However, they were very famous. No cultivator dared to provoke them. It was very easy for an emperor to fight against an emperor. Fighting against someone of a higher realm. Isn't the Divine Beast clan too monstrous? Night Sorrow was a little shocked. A Golden Dragon clan emperor just stood there. Ordinary mediocre emperors couldn't even break through his defense. How could they win? Not to mention attack and defense, a member of the Green Rock clan can't even touch his shadow when he uses his speed. How can you fight him? The Great Demon King looked at Night Sorrow with disdain again. Can you stop looking down on me? Based on what you said, if the Emperor of the Divine Beast clan appeared, wouldn't he also beat you up? Night Sorrow was very unhappy with the Great Demon King's look. Ha! You're thinking too much. How do you know that I don't have talent? This Demon King will forgive your ignorance. Elder Lin, continue to teach your man. Ignorance is too frightening. For the title of virtuous emperor to fall on him is truly a waste of a heavenly treasure. The Great Demon King curled his lips and left the hall. He couldn't stand the current situation. The Great Demon King also has a heaven-defying bloodline? Night Sorrow asked. Of course there are. Every emperor isn't simple. He is called the Great Demon King because he abhors evil and loves to kill. Another reason is his talent. He has the Devil King's body. I didn't tell you about my matters, mainly because you didn't ask. I have the Emperor Might body, which is the talent of strength. My domain is the Void domain, but with the support of the Force domain, in a direct confrontation, no matter what talent an emperor has, they will have to retreat. To put it simply, let's talk about Aluo. She is the incarnation of the Devil's Snare Flower. Her original body is no different from her clone. Her domain of death is extremely confusing. This is something that other cultivators cannot compare to. Lin Piaomiao explained to Night Sorrow. _hashtag Yangji /√ free, little s, they are all so heaven-defying. What about me? Night Sorrow looked at his own body. I don't know. Right now, all of your attributes are very strong. Your body is even stronger. Who knows what your talent is? Lin Piaomiao laughed. I don't think so. Night Sorrow tidied his robe. It's not that you don't think so. It's just that you haven't discovered it yet. There are also some situations. For example, your bloodline isn't as tyrannical as the body of virtue and is suppressed by it. Also, your soul talent is extremely rare. However, it's hard to say for sure. Lin Piaomiao explained to Night Sorrow. You don't have to comfort me. Actually, I have a talent bloodline. You didn't see my ultimate technique, spatial rend. That is a talent bloodline. It's just that I haven't cultivated it well. I will continue to study it in the future. Night Sorrow said. I have lived for a long time and have never heard of this bloodline of Night Moon's clan. There are many human clans in the celestial realm and there are all kinds of bloodlines. Only your Yi clan's spatial rend has never been heard of. Lin Piaomiao muttered softly. That's not right. What's your Yi clan? It's our Yi clan. Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao and corrected her. It's a slip of the tongue. However, there is still a problem. It's common for cultivators to have multiple attributes. However, there is one that hasn't happened yet. That is, someone with 2 supreme attributes. Let's go and ask Martial Uncle. Lin Piaomiao said. Night Sorrow agreed with Lin Piaomiao's opinion. The two of them arrived at Yawu Mountain. King Yawu, who was standing at the peak with his hands behind his back, turned around and returned to the thatched hut. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao sat opposite King Yawu. Is there something wrong? King Yawu asked. Night Sorrow told him what he was confused about. Martial Uncle knows that you have the ethereal body. This kind of talent has a higher compatibility with various attributes. It doesn't have much of an advantage in the early stages. Because your level is low, you can't even study one attribute. There's no point in studying other attributes. However, in the later stages, you will be heaven-defying. Other races and other talents can't compare to you in terms of cultivation in higher realms. King Yawu answered directly. I see. I have the void and destruction attributes. I can focus on studying these 2 attributes. There's no need to be greedy. Night Sorrow said after thinking for a while. There are some things that you can't touch. Neither can Piaomiao. There are only a few people in this world who know about the forbidden energy. Why did your master, the unparalleled Sword Emperor, trigger the God-destroying tribulation during the tribulation of the 7 emperors? It's because he touched upon the forbidden energy, reincarnation. King Yawu said seriously. What kind of energy is reincarnation? Night Sorrow asked. It focuses on destruction and combines life, death, time, and space. It's the forbidden reincarnation attribute. If you master this energy, even the Emperor's tribulation will become the God-destroying tribulation. King Yawu looked up at the sky and said. So the reincarnation attribute is unparalleled and the most powerful attribute in the world? Night Sorrow stood up because this information was too shocking. Yes, but it's not absolute. If there's a positive, there's a negative. If there's a black, there's a white. There's another forbidden attribute called beginning. At the end of the last reincarnation, the clash between the human race and the demon-winged clan was the battle between beginning and reincarnation. Lord Tianhuang can understand more about it. However, you should pretend that you don't know about this for now. Focus on improving your realm and building a good foundation. King Yawu said to Night Sorrow. Yi Shang nodded woodenly. It was too frightening and too profound. He felt that perhaps this was where the charm of cultivation lay. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao left. They didn't speak along the way. They hadn't come into contact with such things before. This information is too shocking. However, it's harder to grasp it. How can a person have the supreme attribute and the 4 advanced attributes? Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and said. Chapter 1823. Night Sorrow, what are you thinking about? Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Sister Xian, if one doesn't have the strength to pass through the emperors and emperor's tribulations, will he be killed by the heavens if he controls the forbidden attribute? Night Sorrow asked. That goes without saying. Senior Unparalleled Sword Emperor had the strength to pass through the 7 emperors' tribulations. He merely touched the forbidden energy and the gods' tribulations destroyed his body. Touching it without strength is just asking for death. Lin Piaomiao said. After speaking, Lin Piaomiao realized that Night Sorrow was silent and his face was a little green. She didn't understand, What's wrong with you? I have the destruction, void, space, time, and death attributes in my body. Night Sorrow said softly. 20,000 primes, isn't that the life attribute? Wait until you've passed through the Emperor's and Emperor's tribulations. Then, you can study it slowly. It's not that easy to get an attribute from nothing. Lin Piaomiao hooked her arm around Night Sorrow's arm and said. But the problem is that I have a trace of life energy in my body. Night Sorrow turned to Lin Piaomiao and said. What did you say? Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow in shock. I've thought about it. Because I have an ethereal body, I absorbed the destruction energy in the lightning tribulations. But when I absorbed the destruction energy, there was a trace of life energy in my body. It's true that I can't control it now. But when I'm injured, it will help me recover. I can't control it now because I don't have the time to deal with it. Night Sorrow nodded and said. This is a big deal. Don't touch it. It's no different from going through lightning tribulations. It's too serious. Lin Piaomiao was a little afraid. The consequences of touching it were too scary. Night Sorrow was only an emperor. Destruction, life, death, time, and space. These are the components of the forbidden attribute reincarnation. If the void attribute is the main one and fuses with these, would it be another forbidden attribute, primal? Night Sorrow thought of another question. How would I know? I only heard about the taboo attribute energy from Martial Uncle today. Lin Piaomiao shook her head. Let's not talk about it anymore. Let's raise our cultivation level first. The scenery on the path of cultivation is beautiful, but this kind of beauty isn't so easy to obtain. Night Sorrow patted Lin Piaomiao's back and said. Night Sorrow, you're too scary, Lin Piaomiao said. I won't touch it easily. Don't worry. Night Sorrow nodded at Lin Piaomiao. This is your potential. But before you have the strength, we won't dig for this treasure. Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and reminded him. Night Sorrow nodded. He knew that there were some things that he shouldn't touch. The two left Yalwa Mountain and arrived at the Divine Capital. The Divine Capital was very beautiful at night. It was the first city of the human race and the origin of the human civilization. We're not going back. Let's go shopping. Lin Piaomiao pulled Night Sorrow and said. Night Sorrow smiled. The two of them strolled casually on the streets. Lin Piaomiao bought Night Sorrow 2 sets of battle robes and 2 pairs of battle boots. Because Night Sorrow had been barefoot all this time. You're clearly a young master full of vigor. Why do you have to act like a wandering cultivator? You're a domain lord. You have status and a wife at home. You can't be like this. Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and said with a smile. Then, Lin Piaomiao helped Night Sorrow comb his hair. Only under such circumstances would Night Sorrow be worth watching. The barefoot Night Sorrow with his hair draped over his shoulders was completely different from the current him. You're looking down on me. Night Sorrow said and turned his head to the side. What are you talking about? If I don't take care of you well, people won't laugh at you. They'll laugh at the woman in your family for not being able to take care of a man. Lin Piaomiao pinched Night Sorrow's shoulder hard. All right. Unless it's a special situation, I'll take care of myself well. Night Sorrow grabbed Lin Piaomiao's hand and said. The two of them went on a shopping spree. They bought a bunch of battle robes, battle boots, and skirts. Then, they went to a restaurant to have a meal before returning to Night Moon Villa. You two are glowing. You two went out to eat alone. Seeing Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao returning to Night Moon Villa, the Great Demon King scolded. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao didn't reply. You couldn't tell right from wrong with the Great Demon King. The Great Demon King's words are more direct. But Alliance Master, you're putting on airs. Sect Master Lin has good taste. Yu Zhu added. What's wrong with you two? We're just out shopping. Why are you acting like we're committing murder and arson? Are you guilty? Lin Piaomiao said unhappily. Shopping isn't a crime. Showing off your love isn't a crime. But you shouldn't have come back empty-handed. Where's the wine? Where's the meat? Pu Luo said and directly stated the reason. Why can't you just say it? Lin Piaomiao placed a few dishes and a few jars of wine on the table. She and Night Sorrow prepared a portion for everyone. Ruesi, what's with your expression just now? Yu Zhu, how can you say that our alliance master is putting on airs? You two are too unkind. How can he still think of you when he's out? Pu Luo, you too. Do you have to be so direct? Who are our alliance master and sect master Lin? They're the Merit Emperor and his wife. The great demon king sat by the table and opened the jar of wine. Their faces changed too quickly. A moment ago, they were still an adulterous couple. Now, they were the Merit Emperor and his wife. Pu Luo didn't utter a word. He took the jar of wine and poured it. Ruesi and Yu Zhu did the same. Fen Tian directly took the jar of wine. Night Sorrow was speechless. This group of people was abnormal. Let's go and try on the robes. Lin Piaomiao pulled Night Sorrow to the loft where they were resting. Night Sorrow changed into a loose white battle robe. He also changed the ribbon that tied his hair into a hairpin. It was a hollow silver hairpin. Good bearing. That's the feeling. Lin Piaomiao clapped her hands and said after helping Night Sorrow tidy up. It's all right. Although it's not as casual as before, it still feels very nimble. Night Sorrow said after taking 2 steps. Everything stabilized. Night Sorrow's original body was in a high-speed cultivation. His clone was studying the spear art every day, combining the immemorial spear art and high heaven spear art into one. In the blink of an eye, another year and a half had passed. The competition for the first vanguard of the 100 Races Alliance was getting closer and closer. However, Night Sorrow's original body was still in an epiphany. If it was in a normal place, the epiphany would be interrupted if the energy couldn't keep up. However, this didn't happen in Yawu Mountain. The energy was dense and the increase in energy could keep up with the realm. Peak of Yawu Mountain. King Yawu looked at Yi Shang, who was sitting cross-legged, and nodded silently. The energy that wrapped around Yi Shang, circled in the sky, and then returned to Yawu Mountain was very stable. This meant that the horn of the human race's Dragon of Destiny would soon form. Night Sorrow's clone had also reached the peak of Yawu Mountain. However, he was cultivating his spear art every day. Every spear that he released was filled with the aura of high heaven. Chapter 1824. Night Sorrow wielded the spear with his spirit and performed the mixed Yuan spear art. Every spear attack carried his own domain miniature. Every spear attack switched between Void Extreme Kill and Void Return to Origin Kill. Sometimes, it was Destruction True Dragon Kill. Although there was attribute energy conversion, Night Sorrow's spear art wasn't abrupt at all. It seemed to be smooth and full. King Yawu was aware of Yi Shang's progress. He knew that Yi Shang had comprehended enough of his spear art. What he lacked was a self-created spear art. Additionally, he needed cultivation. If his cultivation increased, his battle prowess wouldn't be a problem. Junior brother, your main body's epiphany hasn't stopped. Are you planning to charge all the way to the Emperor rank? Fen Tian asked when he saw Night Sorrow put away his spear. How can I? However, epiphany is a good thing. I'll continue to do so. There's no harm in it. Night Sorrow said with a smile. If we examine your energy, Night Sorrow, you're already a mid-stage 5-star emperor, which is equivalent to a mid-stage emperor. Of course, this is under the condition that your energy and realm are equal. If your energy hasn't caught up to your realm, then your realm might be higher. King Yawu said. Night Sorrow's situation couldn't be hidden from him. A mid-stage 5-star emperor. It's not safe enough to participate in the 100 Race Alliance's first vanguard with this cultivation. Night Sorrow said after some thought. Junior brother, what are you thinking? Back when you were an emperor, you defeated the encirclement of 5 emperors from the Demon Wing clan. What's the difference between you and back then? Are you still worried that you won't be a match for other emperors in a one-on-one battle? Are you planning to squash every opponent to death after entering the arena? Fen Tian said with a smile. Didn't martial uncle say that I can only win and not lose? I must enter the Wasteland Tower. Knight Sorrow said. Your current spear arts attack power is infinitely close to the emperor rank. This is only a 4-star emperor with the strength of a beginner emperor. If you're a mid-stage emperor, then your spear arts attack power will be at the emperor rank. In addition to the attribute suppression and other factors, martial uncle thinks that you can sweep through the emperors. King Yewu said. He was very confident in Knight Sorrow. I'll try my best. Knight Sorrow nodded. You don't have to worry about the Humanitarian League, Star Moon City, etc. Everything is developing very well now. You are already a mighty lord in the human clan. Fen Tian said to Knight Sorrow. His clone had just gone to the Misty Dynasty's territory some time ago. I'm relieved if there's nothing wrong. Martial uncle, I plan to go see Jun Xuanji, Knight Sorrow said. King Yewu nodded. Go. Although we helped her a little, she still needs some support from her friends. Knight Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao left Yawu Mountain. Master, Junior Martial Brother's cultivation speed is so fast. Will his state of mind be unstable? Those imperial lords, which one of them hasn't cultivated for hundreds of millions of years, or even billions of years? Now that Junior Brother is participating, he will be under a lot of pressure. Fen Tian said. His state of mind won't be unstable. Energy is refined step by step, so it won't be unstable. It's fine. Even if the sky prides of the various divine beast clans want to suppress Knight Sorrow, they won't be able to do it. When the time comes, I'll bring you along to observe the ceremony. I'll also need to communicate with the City Lord of Infinite Desolation to see if an emperor who has less than an era of lifespan and has passed the Emperor Tribulation can participate in the competition for the first commander. However, you shouldn't participate. No matter if it's Lin Piaomiao or the Great Demon Lord, once they take action, the first vanguard will be in the human clan's pocket. If they are restricted from participating, then you won't be able to participate either. King Yewu said. I understand. Fen Tian bowed. Knight Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao arrived at the Humanitarian League's headquarters and saw Jun Xuanji in the attic behind the headquarters. Knight Sorrow, you're here. I just asked someone to get some tea from Boss Chen. It's just right to entertain you. Jun Xuanji took out a tea set and brewed a pot of heart-cleansing tea. I haven't come to see you for more than a year mainly because I didn't want to disturb you and ruin your state of mind. How has it been? Knight Sorrow looked at Jun Xuanji and asked. What do you think? Jun Xuanji looked at Knight Sorrow and asked. Very good. Your cultivation has reached the 6-star king. You're full of energy, qi, and spirit. Knight Sorrow carefully sized up Jun Xuanji and said. Very good. You've managed the Humanitarian League well, haven't you? Everyone has to give some face to the Humanitarian League's general manager. After we finished talking last time, my original body went to the 9 Domains world and has been cultivating in your Clear Sky Pagoda. My cultivation has been very smooth, but you didn't notice, Jun Xuanji said with a smile. It's fine as long as you're doing well. I'm more at ease. Today, we'll just drink tea, Knight Sorrow said. Knight Sorrow wasn't worried about Jun Xuanji's original body and clone. King Yewu had sealed the original body's soul, so the clone was also restricted by the seal. Once upon a time, we were the 2 commanders of 2 armies. Whether it was strategy or cultivation, I wasn't much worse than you. I even brought you a lot of trouble. But now? Ha! The gap is too big, Jun Xuanji said with a smile. Maybe it's because I developed fast in the early stages, while you developed fast in the later stages. There are many examples of latecomers catching up. Knight Sorrow comforted Jun Xuanji with a smile. Comfort me? Do you think I need to? I'm just a little emotional telling you this. If I'm the reincarnation of that person's soul, then her original body isn't as good. At least, she's not as good as you. The gap is too big, Jun Xuanji said with a smile. Xuanji, Night Sorrow is the virtuous emperor of the human race. Those who have virtuous bodies are blessed with karmic luck. We all know that, so your future path is different from what some people have planned. You are you, a different Jun Xuanji. Lin Piaomiao poured a cup of tea for Jun Xuanji. To be able to drink tea poured by the battle emperor, there's no one below the emperor, right? I'm very happy. Actually, what I'm most happy about is that Night Sorrow has always had a stage to show off. In the world of reincarnation, you were the commander and I was the strategist. Our cooperation was unrivaled. In the celestial realm, you're the Humanitarian League's lord and I'm the general manager. You can expand your territory, and I can stabilize it, Jun Xuanji said. Well said. In the future, I still have to conquer the world. I can't do without you, Jun Xuanji, by my side. Night Sorrow looked at Jun Xuanji and said seriously. What do you mean by the demon-winged clan's powerhouse? Scram as far as you can. I want to be the world's best strategist. When Night Sorrow becomes famous, people will know that you have someone by your side called Jun Xuanji. Jun Xuanji clinked his teacup against Night Sorrow's. I'm happy. I'm really happy. Where's Zhu Jillian? Why haven't I heard from her recently? The 9 domains world is formed by the fusion of 3 realms. You're the leader of the Profound Mysteries realm, and she's the leader of the Nether realm. Why hasn't she appeared? Night Sorrow asked. I don't know. The last time I saw her, she was full of confidence and wanted to become an emperor. Who knows what's going on? But you have to be careful of her. She has horns on her head, ha. Jun Xuanji said with a smile. Chapter 1825. Xuanji, don't scare me. It's true that Jillian has horns, but they're double horns. Moreover, she's from the Netherworld race. Also, what did you say? She's going to break through to the Emperor realm? She's so fast. When did she become a heavenly monarch? Why don't I know about it? Night Sorrow's face was filled with shock. There were many people with better aptitudes than Zhu Jillian in the Chaos realm, but none of them had reached the heavenly monarch realm. Ah, haha. You're too excited. I didn't express it clearly. She's confident that she's going to become an emperor. It doesn't mean that she's going to become an emperor immediately. The last time I saw her, she was a high-level king. She hasn't reached the heavenly monarch realm yet. Breaking through to the emperor realm is her dream, Jun Xuanji said with a laugh. That's right. Her aptitude is not bad, but it's not that heaven-defying. Xuanji, you really scared us. Becoming an emperor requires luck and aptitude. If it's abnormal, it's really a big deal, Lin Piaomiao said as she breathed out. Ha! I'm just teasing you guys. But you guys seem very nervous, Jun Xuanji said with a smile. We were shocked by you just now. Zhu Jillian has double horns while the demon-winged clan has single horn. That's different. But if she's going to break through to the Emperor realm now, then we have to investigate. Night Sorrow slapped his forehead. He was really shocked by Jun Xuanji's words. Jun Xuanji smiled. He just wanted to change the atmosphere. Night Sorrow stretched out his hand and pointed at Jun Xuanji. He smiled helplessly. Actually, this was the Jun Xuanji he wanted to see the most. While drinking tea, Yishang asked Jun Xuanji who he wanted to accompany her, Red Coat or Blue Shadow. Only one. No, I want both, Jun Xuanji said. Then I'll give both to you. Is that okay? Night Sorrow said with a smile. He was happy to see that Jun Xuanji was in good condition. He would naturally agree to Jun Xuanji's request. After chatting for a while, Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao returned to the Night Moon Villa. Very good. You're not affected by what happened last time, Lin Piaomiao said. Lin Piaomiao said. She knew that this was good news for Night Sorrow because Night Sorrow cared for everyone around him. She's a person with dreams and ambitions. After cultivating Senior Uncle's solipsistic soul mystic art, her beliefs have been strengthened. It's only natural that she's in a good state. Night Sorrow smiled. What Night Sorrow didn't know was that when Jun Xuanji said that Night Sorrow was going to conquer the world, and that he couldn't be without Jun Xuanji by his side, in the sacrificial pagoda of Devil Emperor on Heaven Wasteland, Mo Tianji opened her eyes. Mo Tianji checked herself. She didn't find anything wrong, but she felt like she was missing something. After thinking about it, Mo Tianji continued to fuse with the body. This pure-in woman's soul had already been destroyed by her. After fusing with the body and cultivating for a while, she would recover 90% of her strength. In addition, if she could snatch back the body of her original body, she could transfer her soul to the body of her original body and leave a part of her soul in the body, which could be used as a clone. Most importantly, she had to fuse with the body. Without fusing with the body, she wouldn't have much fighting power. It would be very difficult to snatch back the body of her original body. Night Sorrow, there are many rank 9 martial emperors in the celestial realm. However, they all rely on the accumulation of time. The aptitude to become a martial emperor is very important. Some cultivators don't have the aptitude. It's impossible to become a martial emperor with time, unless there's a huge change in fortune. The primal chaos realm will produce martial emperors in the future, but it won't be that easy. Lin Piaomiao said. Night Sorrow nodded. He knew that this was the bottleneck. If one's aptitude wasn't enough, they would be stuck forever. This could be seen from the Misty Dynasty. The Misty Dynasty had existed for a very long time. However, there were only about 10 martial emperors in the primal chaos realm. If there are martial emperors in the primal chaos realm, they will be close to you, the virtuous merit emperor. Then, there will be some old people with deep accumulations, such as the Qing Emperor and Yuandao Heavenly Lord. They definitely won't be a young person who isn't close to you. Lin Piaomiao emphasized to Night Sorrow again. I know. I've already paid attention to this. If there are more reincarnated soul avatars, it'll only be a matter of time before they take action. Once we get through this period of time, we'll be safe. Yi Sorrow nodded. He also had a rough idea of who could be the problem. This was also why Night Sorrow's heart skipped a beat when Jun Xuanji mentioned Zhu Jiuyun. It was because he was really paying attention to Zhu Jiuyun. Whether it was 2 horns or a single horn on one's head, this wasn't the way to determine if it was a martial emperor's clones reincarnated. Mo Tianji had horns, but Jun Xuanji didn't. This meant that the race of the previous life had nothing to do with the race of the current life. The demon wing race had reincarnated into the 9-domain world, but the 9-domain world didn't have the demon wing race. This meant that he could only be from another race. After arriving at the Night Moon Villa, Night Sorrow continued to cultivate his spear arts. He had already merged the High Heaven spear art and Primeval spear art into one. He had also reached the point where every move was a battle skill. Now, he was working hard to use his absolute art while perfecting his spear arts. In the past, after using his absolute art, Night Sorrow's spear arts attacks would become normal attacks. Now, he wanted to make his spear arts attacks into battle skills after using his absolute art. This way, with the absolute art's effect on the target's soul, the target's surrounding space and time, as well as the suppression of his domain, he would be able to kill his target. Everyone saw Night Sorrow's hard work. Whether it was Pu Luo or the Great Demon King, they all admired Night Sorrow for this. Night Sorrow had unparalleled tenacity and patience. After another round of spear arts cultivation, Night Sorrow came to the hall of the Night Moon Villa. Alliance Master, you are too ruthless. You have beautiful wives and concubines by your side. Do you really have to work so hard? Pu Luo said. Strength is the guarantee of everything. Also, I would like to ask for your help today. Night Sorrow took the Great Demon King's teapot and poured himself a cup of tea. Latest chapter #section X, your help is not a small matter. Just say it. The great demon king nodded. I want to buy the underworld stone. I need the underworld stone. Night Sorrow told everyone what he needed help with. Night Sorrow now had the void, destruction, time, space, and light of virtue's domain. If he wanted to increase the level of his domain, he would need to add new attributes. As for new attributes, the death attribute was currently the best choice for Night Sorrow. The underworld stone was currently in Night Sorrow's body. With the help of the underworld stone, Night Sorrow had already comprehended the rule of death. Now, he was in the process of comprehending and researching will. However, there was still a problem. With the underworld stone in his body, his two doppelgangers could not use the death attribute ability. After all, it was not his own ability. It was an ability brought by external objects. It's not a big problem. I don't care about the request from God's capital. I will go to the God's castle to give a mission, the great demon king said. Chapter 1826. CMO 0 Zin 6 Chapter VD Upper 8Q, I'll take care of Desolation City and Divine Capital City. It's not a big deal. I'll dig it out for you as long as there are any, Pu Luo said. Then the rest of us can only look at our own warehouses, Yu Zhu said with a smile. Everyone continued chatting as they had their clones to handle this matter. They didn't have to worry about it. Fen Tian asked Night Sorrow what he wanted the Yellow Spring Stone for, as it was a treasure of the death attribute. I'm cultivating the death attribute. I plan to cultivate the death attribute and break through to level 5 domain realm, Night Sorrow said. Everyone here were good friends, so there was nothing to hide. Good fellow. You're cultivating your domain realm because you don't care about the low-level attributes. You're so overbearing. Ruisi looked at Night Sorrow as if he was looking at a monster. Many Emperor Realm cultivators would start from the simpler and easier attributes to cultivate. Ordinary attributes were their target. To be able to cultivate to the Emperor Realm, one's aptitude would naturally be good. It would be easier for them to comprehend the 7 ordinary attributes. It would be more difficult to comprehend the high-level attributes. It could even be said that they wouldn't be able to cultivate it. Not to mention others, just Fen Tian, when he killed Huang Shang, he used a 7th-level domain, which was a perfect fusion of 7 types of attributes. Of course, it was not his strongest domain, but through the fusion of 7 types of ordinary attributes, increasing the power of the domain was the easiest path to take. I don't have any foundation for the other attributes. Only the death attribute I have some understanding of, so I'll try it first. However, my current death attribute comes from the Yellow Spring Stone. I have a Yellow Spring Stone in my body, so I can use the death attribute energy. My clones can't, Night Sorrow explained. Ruisi and the others didn't say anything. They understood that Night Sorrow was different from them. Night Sorrow was the Merit Emperor and they weren't. Let's see how it goes. If you can get a few more pieces, you don't have to give them to your clones. Your clones can just shatter the Yellow Spring Stone and refine the essence of the Yellow Spring Stone. Then, the death energy will belong to you and not the Yellow Spring Stone. That's your foundation, Pu Luo said. Night Sorrow, thank you all in advance. Come to the Twilight Tea House later. I'll treat you all to tea. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Pu Luo's words had indeed given him some ideas, but the premise was that there was enough death energy for him to absorb and lay a foundation for the death attribute. Your treat. Do you need it? Yuzhu, do we need someone to treat us to tea? The Demon King tapped his finger on the armrest of his chair. Hee, there is no need for that, Yuzhu said with a smile. What's wrong? After eating and drinking for free, is there a free treat? Night Sorrow was a little puzzled. What are you talking about? Who are you talking about? Of course, Pu Luo couldn't get rid of the blame for being shameless. It was a fact that he liked to drink tea and didn't pay for it. But I, the Demon King, am different. It's true that I drank a few times and didn't pay for it, but that was to test your character and whether the Twilight Tea House was generous enough. If the Twilight Tea House was generous enough, I would throw 2 million Saint Spirit Stones into the yard and deduct as much as I drank. Who would dare to treat me at the Twilight Tea House? From now on, I will be the one treating others. The Demon King lifted his chin and looked at Night Sorrow. You're playing so domineering. I admire you. If we're talking about who's better at flirting, no one in the celestial realm can compare to you, the Demon King. What level are you at? Why are you still pretending to be a rich man? Night Sorrow was a little speechless. This has nothing to do with level. This is about dominance, style, and courage. Pretending to be a rich man. I don't need to pretend, right? If I'm not a rich man, who would dare to say they are? The Demon King slapped the armrest of his chair loudly. He was very domineering. What a nouveau riche. Yu Zhu looked at the Demon King with disdain. Who are you calling a nouveau riche? That's him. He extorted tens of millions of Saint Spirit stones from the Demon Wing clan. He's a real nouveau riche. I'm the foundation. Do you know what foundation is? I'm the foundation. The Demon King glared at Yu Zhu. You're talking about foundation, right? Let's not talk about the craftsmanship of the human emperor gold bricks. Let's talk about the cost. How much is the geocentric adamantine? Each human emperor gold brick used about 50 kilograms. You know what geocentric adamantine is, right? Then there's the fiery sun gold brick. Each human emperor gold brick used about 80 kilograms. Do the math. Pu Luo said. So you're saying that each brick costs a few million Saint Spirit stones? Ruiz took out his gold brick and asked. Nonsense. Do you think I'm a rotten brick that you can pick up anywhere? I'm bleeding. Don't mention Saint Spirit stones to me in the future. I'm eating and drinking your food. Do you understand? You're the law-enforcing elder of the human clan. We're building a good atmosphere for the human clan. We're punishing evil and encouraging good. You should contribute. You're the elder of the Humanitarian League. You're obligated to provide weapons for everyone. Do I have to mention it just because I've done something? It's better to keep a low profile. I really don't want to say anything about you. Let's go and have some tea. I'll pay for the teleportation fee. Learn from this Demon King's generosity. The great Demon King stood up and walked out. Yi Shang was dumbfounded. Once again, he experienced the demeanor of these people. They all walked out of the hall. Yu Zhu walked to Night Sorrow and patted him on the shoulder. Slowly, you will get used to it. There is no such thing as the worst, only worse. There is no such thing as shameless, only more shameless. They have practiced this for many years. You are still too weak. Sister Xian Er, how can this be? Are they all human clan elders? Night Sorrow asked Lin Piaomiao after the great Demon King and the others left. The Grand Masters of the human race are humans as well. They have emotions and desires as well. There's no need for them to put on any pretense in front of their friends. Just be your true self. This is also the best way to communicate with your friends. Lin Piaomiao said. Night Sorrow nodded. He understood a little. If they're not friends, do you expect the great Demon King to treat you to tea? He won't even give you a strand of hair. If they're not friends, do you expect Pu Luo to make weapons for you? Many people in Tianhuang City want to ask Pu Luo to make weapons for them. His answer is that everyone has their own specialization. He won't do what you ask. Tell me, an emperor-level imperial tutor. How could he not know how to answer people's questions? He's just too lazy. He only does things that interest him. Lin Piaomiao smiled somewhat helplessly. This was because the great Demon King and Pu Luo were such people. They are already invincible. If they are invincible, they will be invincible. Night Sorrow laughed. Yes. However, Pu Luo's suggestion today is not bad. If you can collect a certain amount of yellow springs stones, your main body can break the yellow springs and make it yours. In the future, there won't be any yellow spring stones and you won't need any external help. The death energy will still be in your body. Lin Piaomiao said. Chapter 1827. Sure. You can open it whenever you need it. That will be our territory. Even if the evil Punisher land loses its world origin and becomes barren and devoid of spirit chi, it will still take some time, Lin Piaomiao said. It doesn't matter what the spirit chi is like. I'm going to the Yellow Spring River to refine my death attribute, but it will still take some time. After all, my original body is still in the process of enlightenment. Besides, the competition for the first vanguard of the 100 Races Alliance is about to begin. This is very important. I want to see the elites of the 100 Races Alliance, Knight Sorrow stated his decision. As they spoke, the two entered the Twilight Tea House. The Great Demon King and the others had already ordered tea. I do know a little about this 100 Races Alliance conference. It's said that some divine beast clans will be participating. Also, someone came to the city lord and asked to meet you. It's a blood Qilin, Pu Luo said. Why is the blood Qilin looking for me? Is it because of my spear? Their clansmen have fallen, but I didn't kill them, Knight Sorrow said. His voice was a little loud. Don't get too worked up. The blood Qilin clan doesn't have many members, but no matter who comes out, they are respected. It's even said that you can't meet them because the blood Qilin is an auspicious and virtuous beast. They won't trouble you for no reason. As for your blood Qilin evil-slaying spear, it's not a big problem because you got the skeleton, Lin Piaomiao said. Most importantly, you're the Merit Emperor. You're righteous. Who are you afraid of? Who do you love? The Great Demon King said as he drank his tea. Let them come. I'll deal with them as they come. Haven't the other divine beast clans appeared in the 100 Races Alliance Vanguard Conference before? Knight Sorrow asked. Yes. Do you have a taunting battle skill? If you want to participate, everyone will come, Pu Luo said with a smile. It's good to be lively. Without comparison, there's no advantage or disadvantage. Our humanitarian league leader wants to deal with the elites of this clan and that clan. Without the green leaves, how can the red flowers be set off? The Great Demon King said. Nothing can stop our leader. All right, let's eat and drink some tea, Yu Zhu said. This is a tea house, not a restaurant. Can't it be a little more stylish? Knight Sorrow said speechlessly. Ruisi, tell the leader about our philosophy, Yu Zhu said as she ate her tea. Alliance Master, do you think that artistic conception and style are more important than comfort? Let's eat whatever is comfortable for us. Reese picked up the tray of refreshments, and the group reached out to eat. Knight Sorrow turned his head to the side because he had no words to express his feelings. Any words would be useless at this moment. You guys eat and drink, I'll go home first, Knight Sorrow said after looking at them. After which, Knight Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao returned to the Night Moon Villa. Have you learned your lesson? Originally, the Great Demon King was just a plague. In the future, in the eyes of the elders, we are all scum that should be destroyed, Lin Piaomiao said with a smile. Knight Sorrow turned his head to look at Lin Piaomiao. It doesn't matter if they call me a scum. But if they call you a scum, I'll slap their faces with the human emperor's seal. Lin Piaomiao blushed, but her heart was filled with sweetness. Knight Sorrow's attitude showed that he valued her more than himself. Night Moon Villa, there weren't many people. Other than Datura's clone guarding the villa, the rest were in the 9-domain world. Knight Sorrow's 9-domain world clone was in the city in the sky. He stayed at home, accompanying his parents and wife, and guiding his child's cultivation. Sister Xian Air, since the mythical beast clan is here, do you think Long Jin, Tianyu, Yi Mei, and Aunt Fei will come too? Knight Sorrow asked. That's hard to say. The mythical beast clan has always been at the top of the cultivation world. Their talents are strong, and they can rise as they wish. They can't occupy the dominant position in the celestial realm like the human clan because their population is small. The few people you mentioned were already king before they returned to the clan. Some of them were even high-level kings. After returning to the clan, receiving the inheritance of the clan and entering the ancestral land, who knows what level they will reach. Lin Piaomiao shook her head. That shouldn't be, right? It hasn't been that long. Datura said. Lin Piaomiao told Night Sorrow and Datura that this couldn't be measured by time. For example, the Golden Dragon clan had the Dragon Transformation Pool. They could awaken their bloodline, and the time inside would be even scarier. It was the same for the Green Rock clan. They also had their own inheritance ground. Old ancestor Green Rock's methods were heaven-defying. It wouldn't be difficult for him to research a treasure ground for accelerated time cultivation for his juniors. Sister Xian, I'm looking forward to it. It's best if they can come. We can even give them the vanguard of the 100 races. Night Sorrow was looking forward to it. You can't have such thoughts. In private, we are brothers who have gone through life and death together. However, this concerns the fate of the human clan. You can't mess around. If you give in to them, it will be a humiliation to them. Moreover, if you give in to them, others won't. When the time comes, senior uncle will be disappointed. Lin Piaomiao said. Night Sorrow sighed and nodded. He knew that he was wrong. Whether it was Long Jin or Tianyu, they were proud. They wouldn't want disgraceful glory. Then, Night Sorrow thought about the blood scale coming to the Sky Desolate City. This might be related to him. He had once obtained the blood scale divine pearl. That was the soul pearl of the blood scale. His blood scale evil slaying spear was also made from the tailbone of the blood scale. This was blasphemy to the blood scale race. He couldn't bear to part with the blood scale evil slaying spear. However, Night Sorrow felt that if something really happened, there would be news coming to him. He would be asked to go to the Sky Desolate City to solve it. Forever/free time to read a novel ignoring the Great Demon King and the others, Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao returned to the Nine Domains world. Sometimes, one needed to accompany one's wife. If there wasn't anything important, Night Sorrow stayed at home. On the third day, Datura's clone that was guarding the Night Moon Villa returned. Elder Pu Luo and another elder have come to the Night Moon Villa. They want to see you. Datura told Yishuan the purpose of his return. What will come will come. I'll go back and see what's going on. Night Sorrow knew that it might have something to do with the blood scale coming to the Sky Desolate City. Night Sorrow went to the Night Moon Villa and saw Pu Luo and Emperor Tang. You can't be found if you run away, Pu Luo said. I'm at home with my parents and wife. Not only are you here, but even Elder Tang is here. What did I do? Are you here to arrest me? Night Sorrow asked. Chapter 1828. Ha! Even if someone is dissatisfied, they can't just arrest him, Pu Luo said with a smile. Now, there were indeed some people in the main sect elders who were dissatisfied with Night Sorrow because the Humanitarian League was too arrogant and domineering, and they could punish whoever they wanted. But who would dare to propose to arrest Night Sorrow and deal with Night Sorrow? Night Sorrow was backed by a group of lunatics of the human race. If anyone dared to propose to touch Night Sorrow, they might be hit with a black brick tomorrow. Who could bear such a risk? If they were hit with a black brick, their old face would be gone. The point is that I didn't do anything wrong, right? Night Sorrow said with a smile. Yes, you didn't do anything wrong. You are now a human lord, a young lord. Under your leadership, we dealt with a group of demon-winged clan people who infiltrated. Your contribution is great. Everyone can't wait to praise you, Emperor Tang said with a smile. He knew that no one would dare to touch Night Sorrow easily. Night Sorrow had a group of hardcore Humanitarian League supporters and King Yewu as his martial uncle. Offending King Yewu. No one in the human race would dare to do such a thing. It was disrespectful to the almighty of the human race. Okay, let's go to Tianhuang City to take a look. Night Sorrow nodded. The Grand Elder had spoken, so he had to go. The Grand Elder was an elder who needed to be respected. At this time, the other elders of the Humanitarian League also arrived at Night Moon Villa. Alliance Master, don't worry. Whoever dares to go against you or mention banishment, we will not let them off. When Pu Luo is in charge, we will kill their whole family, Reese said with a glance at Emperor Tang. His words were a threat. Emperor Tang also smiled bitterly. The Humanitarian League's troublemakers were not to be trifled with. Then, the group took the teleportation formation and arrived at the divine capital. Then, they took another teleportation formation and arrived at the heavenly desolate city. Feeling the cold and murderous Nirvana sea breeze, Night Sorrow turned his head and looked in the direction of infinite wasteland. Then, he looked at Ruisi, Yuju, and the others. You guys stay in my courtyard. You don't have to follow me. Ruisi, Pu Luo and Fen Tian nodded. I want to meet the seventh elder. I have some questions that I need to ask him. Lin Piaomiao said. I want to meet the Grand Elder as well. I want to talk to him about what happened in the divine capital, the Grand Demon King said. In reality, the two of them were just worried about Night Sorrow. Pu Luo and Emperor Tang nodded. Emperor Tang already knew that the Great Demon King and Lin Piaomiao had passed the 6 tribulations of the Heavenly Tao. Now, they had to be coaxed. They couldn't afford to provoke them. Besides, Lin Piaomiao was working under the 7th elder, Lu Qi. She was the next candidate for the disciplinary elder position. The Great Demon King was working under the Grand Elder. The two of them had a valid reason to follow him. Then, the group arrived at the Grand Elder's little world. In the little world, the Grand Elder was talking to a man in a golden flaming robe. This is clan leader Qi Rui. You guys should get to know him, the Grand Elder said to the group. The few of them cupped their fists at the man in the golden robe. The human tribe has been producing many talents recently. Our luck is coming. The clan leader in the golden robe nodded at the few of them. Then, he looked at Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow cupped his fists at Qi Rui. Night Sorrow greets Senior. The Merit Emperor of the human tribe. You are very young. Impressive. Very impressive. Qi Rui looked at Night Sorrow and nodded continuously. Since you are here, please tell me, Night Sorrow said to Qi Rui. You want to tell me? Then tell me. I am listening. Qi Rui was stunned. Then, he nodded at Night Sorrow. The first time I came across the words Blood Kirin was a few years ago. At that time, I killed an opponent and obtained the Divine Blood Kirin Pearl from him. However, I gave the Divine Blood Kirin Pearl away, Yishang said. Okay. Go on. Seeing that Night Sorrow was not finished, Qi Rui nodded at Night Sorrow. My Blood Qilin Evil Vanquishing Spear's tip was made from a Blood Qilin's tailbone. However, this junior obtained the tailbone near the Yellow Springs River. I don't think this is enough reason for Senior to come to the human race to denounce them. Night Sorrow raised the spear and said. Can I have a look? Qi Rui stood up and asked. As long as I am still standing, I will not let anyone else have my weapon, Night Sorrow refused. Then you hold it. Let me have a look. Qi Rui looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Okay. Yishang stretched out his right arm and brought the Blood Qilin Vanquishing Evil Spear in front of Lin Rui so that he could see the tip of the spear. After looking at it, Qi Rui's right thumb cut the pad of his index finger. A drop of golden blood appeared and fell on the tip of the spear. While Night Sorrow was still in shock, the drop of blood was absorbed by the tip of the Blood Qilin Evil Punishing Spear. This Blood Kirin tail bone belonged to my third son, Qi Rui. A few years ago, the Demon Wing clan wanted to capture him. He blew himself up. His body was affected by the merit power and fell into the turbulence of the void. The Demon Wing clan did not get it. But I did not expect the hardest part of his tail bone to be in your hands. Qi Rui's face looked pained. I'm sorry. Since it has been proven that the Blood Kirin tail bone belongs to your son, Night Sorrow will not make you feel sad. Night Sorrow took a deep breath and wiped the blood Kirin evil vanquishing spear with his left hand. He then held the spear with both hands and presented it to Chi-Rui. The tip of the spear had absorbed Chi-Rui's blood, which meant that the owner of the blood Kirin evil vanquishing spear was his relative. You may have misunderstood. I came to the human tribe to see your grand elder and you. I did not come here for this spear. Chi-Rui said. Yi Shang, Patriarch Chi-Rui is here to ask for your help. He's not here to denounce you, nor is he here for the blood Qilin divine bead or the blood Qilin evil slaying spear. The great elder invited Chi-Rui to sit down. Then, the grand elder's words made Night Sorrow understand. Patriarch Chi-Rui's wife, Lin Xiao, had given birth to a daughter an era ago. However, before that, the black dragons had attacked the blood Kirin tribe. Chi-Rui's wife, Lin Xiao, had been injured. She had used the energy in her body to heal her injuries. As a result, she had been in a coma ever since she gave birth to her daughter. When they heard that the human tribe had a merit emperor, Chi-Rui and Lin Xiao decided to come and ask for help. 3. Look at Chapter F and Section 1 of the book version 0. In the Kirin tribe, the males were Kirins and the females were Kirins. I see. What do you need Night Sorrow for? Night Sorrow asked. We Kirin tribe were born with merit bodies. However, my daughter's veins were injured. We could not heal them because our merit energy level was not high enough. Therefore, we came to ask for help. Take back the spear. I am not here for this, Chi-Rui said. Chapter 1829. Thank you for considering things from my perspective. But in fact, when Qilin Wing fell, there was no corpse left at the scene. It is also a kind of opportunity for you to be able to obtain a part of it. It is also a kind of gratification for me to have his traces in this world. It is not a disgrace to him to fight side by side with you, so take this spear. It belongs to you. Qilin evil slaying spear gently touched it again and then pushed it back to Night Sorrow. Then Night Sorrow thanked Senior. Night Sorrow put away the blood Kirin evil punishing spear and put it back into the holster on his back. You said it's called the blood Kirin evil slaying spear. Very good. The blood Kirin clan does not participate in the competition between the clans, but we never fall behind anyone when it comes to slaying evil. I look forward to seeing its brilliance in the future, Chi-Rui said. After some time, the Heavenly Baron City will hold a competition for the number 1 vanguard and the number 1 commander of the 100 Races Alliance. Clan leader Chi-Rui, you can attend the competition, the Grand Elder invited. Sure. You're still lacking a bit this time. I'll cheer for you next time, Chi-Rui said to Night Sorrow after accepting the invitation. Senior, I want to participate this time as well, Night Sorrow said. Good. This is courage. Let me give you some encouragement. Chi-Rui was stunned for a moment before he said. Thank you. When does Senior need Night Sorrow's help? Night Sorrow asked. I'm going to stay in the Heavenly Desolation City for 2 more days. Your Grand Elder is my old friend. I'm here to ask for a favor, but I'm not an unscrupulous person. I'll have a few drinks with your Grand Elder, Chi-Rui said. CYX Hair K, alright, Grand Elder, when the Patriarch is about to leave, just inform Night Sorrow said. After that, Night Sorrow, Lin Piao, and the others left the Grand Elder's pocket dimension. I didn't think that there would be such a thing. Night Sorrow, are you going to the Blood Kirin clan? The Blood Kirin mountain is a forbidden area. No matter what race you are not allowed to enter. You have been invited. This is an honor, Pu Luo said, looking at Night Sorrow. There are some things that I don't quite understand. The blood scale race did not participate in the contest of races, so why would the black dragons attack them? How did the third son of clan leader Chi-Rui fall in the hands of the demon-winged clan? Night Sorrow asked Lin Piao and the others. As the saying goes, wherever there are people, there will be fights. Actually, that's not true. As long as there are lives, there will be fights. I don't know about the third son of the Blood Kirin clan, but I know about the black dragons attacking the Blood Kirin mountain. That time, the black dragons suffered a loss, but I didn't expect the Blood Kirin clan leader's wife to be injured, said Lin Piaomiao. Why do the black dragons bite whoever they catch? Night Sorrow was confused. Who knows? It's been like this for a long time, Pu Luo snorted coldly. Night Sorrow and the others returned to his courtyard, and a small table of wine was served. What's going on? Did they make things difficult for our alliance master? Asked Yu Zhu. At first, I thought the blood scale race was here to punish us. I didn't expect them to ask for our alliance master's help. There's no problem at all. However, this doesn't feel good. With strength, why should we be afraid of anyone? Said the great demon king. In this world, there were very few cultivators who could pass the Emperor's tribulation. However, the clan leaders and pillars of the various divine beast races were all at this level. If such existences wanted to target anyone, it would be an unsolvable nightmare. The great demon king also decided to wait until his main body stopped cultivating before continuing to break through the Emperor's tribulation. If he didn't pass the Emperor's tribulation, he wouldn't have the confidence to be lawless. After drinking 2 cups of wine, Night Sorrow stood up and took out his blood-scale evil-slaying spear. I didn't expect you to fall at the hands of the Demon Wings clan. I'll avenge you in the future. After saying that, Night Sorrow started to display his spear art. He was furious when he heard that Qilin Yi had self-destructed in order to prevent his body from falling into the hands of the Demon Wing tribe. Hence, Night Sorrow suppressed his anger and displayed his spear art at full force. As Night Sorrow displayed his spear skills, the blood-scale evil-slaying spear shone with a golden light. It was the light of virtue's domain. With anger in his heart, Night Sorrow's towering heaven spear intent became even more obvious. Every spear strike was as if it wanted to pierce through the sky. Every spear strike was as if it wanted to conquer the world. The tip of the blood-scale evil-slaying spear shone with a golden light after being stimulated by the light of virtue. At this moment, in front of a window in the tower, the Grand Elder and Qi Rui were chatting while looking at the buildings in Tianhuang City. Naturally, they noticed this scene. The towering heaven spear art is so advanced. This is the true inheritance of King Yewu's spear art. The Grand Elder was a little shocked when he saw the golden light and black spatial rifts lingering above Night Sorrow's small courtyard. He really didn't know that Night Sorrow's spear art had reached such a level. Isn't the primordial chaos spear art also at such an advanced level? Every spear has the power of a domain. You guys have put in a lot of effort for this seedling. Qi Rui naturally understood the Grand Elder's spear art. We were worried. This guy can cause trouble, but we didn't put in much effort. I just threw the spear manual to him. I guess King Yewu did the same. Our spear art is something that can only be understood and not taught. It's also his ability to cultivate it to such an advanced level, said the Grand Elder. He's very young. In the future, he will be a pillar of the human race. No wonder he dares to participate in the competition for the first vanguard of the 100 Race Alliance with the cultivation of a primary-level Imperial Lord. He has the confidence. With a spear in hand, he dares to fight the world. Even if he's not a match, no one can take his edge off. It's a good thing that the Qilin Wing Bone can accompany him, said Patriarch Qi Rui. A few years ago, when he was still a 2-star emperor, he fought with 5 imperial lords of the Demon Wing clan on the Nirvana Ocean Bridge. I've seen many battles, but it's the first time I've seen such a tragic and soul-stirring battle. 5 imperial lords and an avatar were all killed by him. He dragged his broken leg and walked back step by step, leaving bloody footprints. After the Grand Elder finished speaking, he threw a crystal ball to Qi Rui. The crystal ball recorded the scene of Night Sorrow's battle. The crystal ball that recorded this battle scene had been replicated many times and circulated among the human race. It was a classic battle, an inspirational battle. After Qi Rui activated the crystal ball, he looked at it carefully and looked at the Grand Elder. You guys just watched. It's the City Lord's death order. He has to kill his way back. I and the other human race elders can only stand on the city wall and watch him fight. Our hearts are aching. The Grand Elder nodded. If anything happens, you'll regret it. However, this is indeed domineering. Impressive. Chi-Rui didn't return the crystal ball and directly threw it into his storage ring. You dripped a drop of blood essence into the blood Qilin evil vanquishing spear. It shouldn't be simple, right? The Grand Elder smiled. There were many crystal balls, but only one original was very precious. However, he didn't care. First, I have to confirm if that's my son's skeleton. If it's not, that drop of blood won't be integrated into it and I'll take it back. If it is, I'll absorb it. If my son still has soul fragments in the world, they'll gather towards that skeleton, said Chi-Rui. Your blood Qilin clan has the power of merit protecting you. You'll be blessed by the heavenly Tao, said the Grand Elder. Chapter 1830. Didn't you say you were going to stay for 2 days? The Grand Elder said with a smile. At first, I thought there was hope. But now, I realized that Night Sorrow's power of merit is quite different from what I expected. So, there's a high chance, Chi-Rui said. That's fine too. This is a big matter for the Blood Qilin clan. Rest for a night and go back tomorrow. Otherwise, you said that you would stay for 2 days. If you change your mind and leave now, you will lose face in front of the juniors, said the Great Elder. Chi-Rui nodded. He knew that the Grand Elder was thinking for him. Night Sorrow displayed his spear skills and vented his emotions. Then, he returned to the hall of the courtyard. Your spear skills are getting more and more overbearing. Pu Luo poured a glass of wine for Night Sorrow. I'm sorry to disturb everyone. I just had some thoughts, Night Sorrow said. I can understand. After hearing it, I also felt uncomfortable. Chi-Rui, I don't know how strong he is. In order to not fall into the enemy's hands, he self-destructed. I respect him as a man, the Great Demon King said. If there's nothing big, let's go back to Shindu City. It's not good to have no one guarding there. We've offended too many people. If they find out that we're not there, they'll attack our territory. That'll be troublesome, Pu Luo said after thinking for a while. In the end, everyone decided that Lin Piaomiao would stay and see if Chi-Rui agreed to go with them. If he agreed, Lin Piaomiao would accompany Night Sorrow. If he didn't agree, there was nothing they could do. As for the danger, they weren't worried. Blood Qilins were auspicious and virtuous beasts. They wouldn't do anything immoral. If they used dirty tricks, it would anger King Yewu. So, some things wouldn't happen. After sending off the Great Demon King and the others, Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao returned to the courtyard. Night Sorrow wiped the Blood Qilin evil-slaying spear. He knew the history of the Blood Qilin tailbone, so he respected it. Blood Qilins are the most special and rare among the divine beasts. Every member is worthy of respect, Lin Piaomiao said. Sister Xian, I understand what you're saying. He'll fight with me in the future, Night Sorrow said. Wen Yong Jiu 4, Mian, small O says and V, you can call me Piaomiao. Why haven't you changed it? Lin Piaomiao asked. There's no need. After I married the 2 senior sisters, I've always called them senior sisters. They've taken care of me, and other than the feelings between husband and wife, I've always respected them in my heart. Sister Xian, is the same. Isn't that the same? Night Sorrow said. He had never thought of changing the way he addressed Xian, Lin Piaomiao smiled and didn't say anything else. She felt that the Yi family was very harmonious and the relationships between the women were very good. It had something to do with her own heart and also something to do with Night Sorrow's attitude. At that moment, Night Sorrow's aura changed. His robes were filled with energy vortexes, and his aura began to rise. He only stopped when he reached the middle stage of the 5-star Emperor realm. Night Sorrow's main body's epiphany ended. The moment their souls connected, the doppelganger also gained enlightenment. Next, its realm and level reached the same level as the main body. The space-time heaven and earth grand momentum increased to 55%. Middle stage 5-star emperor. His understanding of the void of heaven and earth had reached 48%. He had reached the late stage of the 4-star emperor realm. His destruction attribute had reached 46%. He had reached the middle stage of the 4-star emperor realm. The epiphany this time allowed all the attributes that Night Sorrow grasped to reach the Imperial Lord level. After circulating the energy in his body and sensing it, Night Sorrow realized that his power of virtue had become much thicker. Night Sorrow, congratulations. Lin Piaomiao's face was filled with joy because Night Sorrow had made a huge leap again. Not bad. However, it'll be difficult to cultivate at such a high speed in the future. It's because my comprehension speed has decreased that my main body exited from the epiphany. Night Sorrow said. That's enough. Take it slow. With time, you won't have any problems reaching the Emperor realm. Lin Piaomiao smiled. Then, the two of them chatted. Night Sorrow comprehended his own situation. Night Sorrow felt that he was very lucky. As his realm increased, his energy also kept up. The main reason was that Yawu Mountain was the head of the human race's dragon of providence. When the energy erupted, it would cause all sorts of phenomena to appear. Opportunities, rare opportunities. They were all opportunities that could only be encountered and not sought. I'm relieved that your strength has increased. This way, in the competition for the number 1 vanguard of the 100 Race Alliance, your opponents will at most be one level higher than you. In terms of your actual combat strength, this level is nothing. Lin Piaomiao said. Night Sorrow was also happy. This was because the energy contained in a level 4 Emperor realm and a level 5 Emperor realm was different. With enough energy, one's realm and combat skills could be unleashed. After Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao drank some wine, Night Sorrow went to experience his new realm. The next afternoon, while Night Sorrow was practicing his spear, the Grand Elder and Chirue went to Night Sorrow's courtyard. In just one night, your cultivation increased by more than one level? The Grand Elder looked at Night Sorrow in surprise. Not in one night. My original body ended its enlightenment. Night Sorrow cupped his hands at the Grand Elder and Chirue. My power of merit is also much richer. I'll return to Blood Kirin Mountain later. I'll have to trouble you. Your humanitarian league is pretty good. Chirue said to Night Sorrow. Lord Clan Leader, you're too kind. This is my wife. I wonder if she can accompany me to Blood Kirin Mountain. Night Sorrow asked. Sure, you're very welcome. Then, prepare yourselves. Let me know when you're ready. Chirue nodded. He was a virtuous beast, an auspicious beast. He had a good impression of virtuous people, so he didn't reject Lin Piaomiao. Night Sorrow, I already know that Pu Luo helped you find the underworld stone. I'll take a look at it for you. When you return from Blood Kirin Mountain, it'll be almost done. The Grand Elder said. Lord Chirue, we can leave at any time. Night Sorrow thanks Grand Elder. Night Sorrow bowed to the Grand Elder. In the afternoon, Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao set off with Chirue to the Blood Kirin clan's territory. After a few teleportation circles, they began to fly. The three of them were very fast. In 2 days, the three of them arrived at the foot of a mountain. This is the birthplace of the Blood Kirin clan. It is also the place where the Blood Kirin clan cultivates. However, even though we are a clan, we do not have many members. After saying that, Chirue opened up the great protective array of the Blood Kirin Mountain. Then, under Chirue's lead, they continued to fly. Blood Kirin Mountain was a place of auspiciousness. Auspicious clouds floated and all kinds of birds chirped. After a while, the three of them arrived in front of a palace. Then, a group of mother and daughter came out to greet them. Yi Shang, these two are my wife, Lin Xiao, and my daughter, Lin Yun. They are the virtuous merit emperor, Yi Shang and his wife. Qi Rui introduced them. Chapter 1831. Then, they entered the main hall. Night Sorrow, I have 2 sons and 2 daughters. Lin Yun is the eldest daughter. My second son is not in the Blood Kirin Mountain. My third son is Chi Yi. My other daughter is Lin Yu. After sitting down, Chi Rui gave a detailed introduction. Lord Patriarch, if there's anything you need me to do, just let me know. Night Sorrow will definitely not be stingy. Night Sorrow cupped his hands towards Chi Rui and Lin Xiao and nodded towards Lin Yun. Since we're here, we should rest first. Lin Yun, arrange a place for our guest to rest, Qin Rui said to his daughter. Next, under Lin Yun's lead, Night Sorrow's group of 3 arrived before a building on Blood Kirin Mountain. My apologies, my 2 guests. Our Blood Kirin Mountain has never had a guest before. Thus, we do not have a VIP building to receive guests. This is just a loft for you to rest in. Your Highness is too polite. Night Sorrow cupped his hands and said. The patriarch of the Blood Kirin clan was the Blood Kirin king. His children were naturally the princes and princesses. Don't call me that. Actually, I should be the one calling you Lord. Our Blood Scale clan is a virtuous beast clan, but we have yet to reach the virtuous emperor level. However, Lord is already a virtuous emperor. Lin Yun cupped her hands and returned the greeting. Her actions were very magnanimous. After making arrangements for Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao, Lin Yun returned to the main hall of the Blood Qilin Mountain. When Lin Yun entered the main hall, she realized that the atmosphere wasn't right. Both her parents had sorrowful expressions on their faces. Father, mother, can't even the human emperor of merit and virtue help me? Our Blood Scale clan only has a few members. No matter what method we use, we have to let our little sister wake up and grow up, Lin Yun said. It was very difficult for the Blood Qilin race to continue to exist. Those who were close relatives and those who were ethically incompatible were not allowed to marry. The members of the Blood Qilin race would all go to the ordinary Qilin race to find a spouse. It could even be said that even if they found a spouse, they might not be able to have any descendants. However, if there were any descendants, they would definitely be from the Blood Qilin race, the royal family of the Qilin race. Chi Rui was from the Blood Qilin race, but Lin Xiao was not. Her true form was an Ice Qilin. There were very few Blood Kirins in existence at the moment, so Chi Rui had been trying to find a way to solve his daughter's problem. This time, he had found a human. It's not about your little sister. It's about your third brother, Chi Yi. Chi Rui sighed and told him about the Blood Kirin evil-slaying spear. Lin Yun sat down, feeling a little bitter. Father, we don't fight, but the black dragons have colluded with the demon-winged race and have already attacked us. We have a good relationship with the human race, so why don't we join the war? I will consider this matter. The birth of the Merit Emperor of the human clan is different from the past. In addition, don't think about taking back the Blood Qilin evil-slaying spear. Night Sorrow values it very much. Chi Rui told them about Night Sorrow's attitude at that time. The second day after Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao arrived, Lin Xiao and Lin Yun went to their resting area and asked if they were used to it. While drinking tea and chatting, Lin Yun stood up. I know that Lord Knight's weapon can't be used by others, but can you hold it for me to take a look? Night Sorrow understood that Chi Rui should have told his wife and daughter about the Blood Qilin evil punishing spear. Night Sorrow nodded and stood up. He took out the Blood Qilin evil punishing spear and handed it to Lin Yun with both hands. Can I hold it? Lin Yun looked at Night Sorrow and asked in surprise. Of course. Night Sorrow put the Blood Qilin evil punishing spear in Lin Yun's hands. Lin Yun touched the tip of the Blood Qilin evil punishing spear and cried. Next time, whether your father is willing or not, I will fight. The demon-winged race must pay the price for hurting Chi Yi. Lin Zhao's face was full of anger. Night Sorrow didn't say anything. This was an internal matter of the Qilin clan. Lin Xiao wasn't a Blood Qilin, so the way he handled the problem was different from Chi Rui and Lin Yun. Seeing that Lin Xiao and Lin Yun were a little emotional, Lin Piaomiao made a pot of heart-cleansing tea. When are we going to solve the little princess's problem? Night Sorrow asked. Soon. My father is making a kind of elixir. Once the elixir is solved, we can start to unblock her meridians. Lin Yun said and handed the blood Qilin evil punishing spear to Lin Xiao. Lin Xiao also wanted to take a look. Lin Xiao took the blood Qilin evil punishing spear and looked at it. You are good at making weapons, but the materials are not good. Since you are going to stay in the blood Qilin mountain for a while, can you leave the spear with me for a few days? I will put it in the holy light pond for a baptism. It will improve a lot. This. Night Sorrow doesn't dare to trouble you. Night Sorrow was stunned. I just don't want the blood Qilin evil punishing spear to be damaged in the future. This is what I can do for Qi Yi as his mother. Lin Xiao said. Thank you. Night Sorrow didn't refuse. After sitting for a while, Lin Xiao and Lin Yun left. There are differences in race, which leads to different personalities. The chief's wife is more violent. Lin Piaomiao said. Night Sorrow nodded. But he understood that people with virtuous bodies and ordinary cultivators saw the world differently. On the fourth day after Night Sorrow's arrival, Qi Rui came to the loft where Night Sorrow was staying. How was your rest these few days? Qi Rui looked at Night Sorrow and asked. I'm just not used to not having the spear with me. Night Sorrow said with a smile. He was carrying a simple black iron spear on his back. It was very thick and was used to find the right feeling. The Holy Light Pond is the place where the blood Qilin tribe goes through the baptism of the body after birth. Putting the blood Qilin evil punishing spear in there is good for you. Don't worry. Qi Rui said. He had already lectured Lin Xiao about this matter. It was inappropriate and too reckless. The Holy Light Pond was one of the most important core inheritances of the blood Qilin clan. Every member of the blood Qilin clan was born and baptized by the Holy Light Pond. Only then would their talents be outstanding. If a weapon was placed in the Holy Light Pond, there would be more unstable factors. It could even be said that if there were other souls hidden in the Holy Light Pond, there would be some impact. But Qi Rui couldn't stop Lin Xiao in time. Thank you, Lord Chief. Night Sorrow cupped his hands at Qi Rui. Let's go take a look today. How's my daughter? Qi Rui asked. Okay. Night Sorrow nodded. Then, under Qi Rui's lead, the three of them went to the main hall of the blood Qilin mountain. Lin Xiao and Lin Yun followed them and the group went to the highest point of the blood Qilin mountain. Magic array. Night Sorrow noticed that there was a magic array here. The magic array gathered rays of golden light and fell on the core of the magic array. At the core of the magic array was a jade platform. On the platform, a girl was sleeping. Night Sorrow knew that she was the little princess of the blood Qilin tribe, Lin Yu. She was a member of the blood Qilin tribe who had not woken up since birth. She was also the target of his help this time. Chapter 1832. Qi Rui cast a spell and opened the door of the 100 Spirits formation. He walked in with them and touched the girl's hand. His eyes were filled with pain and love. Night Sorrow could feel the sadness and helplessness in Qi Rui's heart. He was also a father. Children were the flesh and blood of parents. If they could exchange their lives for their children's health, they would be willing to do so. What do you need me to do? Night Sorrow sighed and asked. Use the power of virtue to unblock my daughter's meridians. Although she has a human body, the meridians in her body are different from those of the human race. Originally, she should have the body of a Qilin, but because the spiritual energy of heaven and earth is gathered here, and the human race is the spirit of the 100 races, her body naturally transformed into a human body. What you need to do is to unblock her meridians under the guidance of my soul power. Mainly the meridians that connect her body to her spirit ocean. Qi Rui said. No problem. Night Sorrow nodded. Translator, Nioebo Studio Editor, Nioebo Studio, War Emperor Lin, we are here to save people. You and Lin Yun will be responsible for some security issues. Qi Rui said to his daughter and Lin Piaomiao. Don't worry, clan leader. As long as Piao Miao is here, no one will disturb us. Lin Piao Miao nodded. Lin Xiao, you and I will activate the 100 Spirits formation. We will gather energy and work together with Night Sorrow to repair Lin Yu's meridians. Qi Rui said to his wife. After dividing the work, Qi Rui opened the formation and allowed Lin Yun and Lin Piao Miao to stand guard outside. Then, he took out 3 cushions. After we start, Night Sorrow, follow the guidance of my soul power and unblock her meridians. My wife and I will control the formation's energy to nourish her meridians. Qi Rui told Night Sorrow some details after he sat down. Then, he gave Lin Yu a pill. After everything was ready, Night Sorrow placed his right hand on Lin Yu's wrist and waited for Qi Rui's guidance. After a while, a red light appeared in Lin Yu's wrist. Night Sorrow knew that it was Qi Rui's soul power. Night Sorrow controlled the power of virtue and channeled it into Lin Yu's body. To open up her meridians, he had to start from the wrist. This was the starting point. Lin Yu's meridians were very small and weak. Night Sorrow carefully circulated his power of virtue because if he was not careful, he would shatter Lin Yu's meridians. That would not be a rescue but a murder. It was very difficult. Lin Yu's meridians could not withstand energy and only the power of virtue could do it. Moreover, the resistance was very strong. This was also the reason why Qi Rui could not do it himself and needed help. Even though he had monstrous strength, his energy was ineffective against Lin Yu's meridians. Night Sorrow sat cross-legged as he continuously channeled the power of merit into Lin Yu's meridians, clearing them bit by bit. It was very slow. Luckily, it didn't consume much of Night Sorrow's merit power. As long as the merit power didn't scatter, it wasn't lost. Lin Yu's meridians just absorbed some. 3 days later, Night Sorrow's power of virtue reached Lin Yu's shoulder, which meant that an arm had been opened up. Next, the meridians in the body were cleared up. The real rescue had only just begun. Night Sorrow was very calm. He had already closed his mind and felt Qi Rui's power of soul guiding him to carry out the rescue. Time slipped away bit by bit. After a month, all the meridians in Lin Yu's body were cleared up. Of course, only the main meridians were cleared up. Next was the most important part of the rescue. The meridians connected to the spirit ocean were cleared up and repaired. According to Qi Rui, Lin Yu had consciousness. It was just that she couldn't control her body and couldn't wake up. Now that the meridians were repaired, the only thing left was to repair her neck and spirit ocean. Once this step was completed, Lin Yu would wake up. Qi Rui was very careful now. Under the guidance of his power of soul, Night Sorrow had no problems clearing up Lin Yu's meridians in the past month. This meant that the key to success or failure was his guidance. While controlling the gentle energy of the 100 Spirit Array to repair Lin Yu's meridians that were cleared up by Night Sorrow, he carefully guided Night Sorrow's power of virtue to continue clearing the meridians. At this moment, something happened outside the Blood Qilin Mountain. 2 men in black suddenly appeared. Black dragons, you dare to invade my Blood Qilin Mountain. Do you want to die? Lin Yun's face was filled with anger. If the black dragons didn't attack the Blood Qilin clan, her mother Lin Xiao wouldn't be injured and Lin Yu wouldn't be in a coma. The black dragons were the main culprits. If we want to die, you have to be able to kill us first. Don't you want to kill us? Stop joking. My clan's great elder has already divined the situation of your Blood Qilin Mountain today. Only the 2 of you can be free. That old bull Blood Qilin King and that bitch Lin Xiao are both busy. One of the men in black said. Lin Piao Miao held her long sword. She knew that things were getting troublesome because the black dragons had a premeditated plan. They attacked when the Blood Qilin King, Qi Rui, and Lin Xiao were busy. Lin Yun grabbed Lin Piao Miao's wrist and didn't let her move. Although she was angry, she didn't lose her calm. If you have the ability, then attack. My Blood Qilin clan won't fight. But you black dragons have to pick a fight. Then we'll see. Maybe today will be the day that you black dragons will be sowed the seeds of disaster. Lin Yun said. Longya, break the array. The black-robed man who spoke soared into the air and transformed into a black dragon that was thousands of feet long. The black dragon flipped its body and whipped its tail towards the defensive shield of the Blood Kirin Mountain's protective array. Lin Yun stretched out her arm and a ray of energy rose from the Blood Qilin Mountain. It rushed out along the light red defensive barrier. Following an explosion, the black dragon's tail and the defensive barrier's energy collided, giving off a deafening boom. At this time, the other black dragon called Dragon Cliff, who had transformed into his true form, whipped his tail at the gap after the mountain protecting formation launched its attack, firmly hitting the defensive barrier of the mountain protecting formation. The barrier didn't break, but it shook a few times. Lin Piaomiao knew that the two black dragons were both emperor ranks and had powerful fighting strength. If this continued, only an 8-star emperor or middle-class emperor rank Lin Yun wouldn't be able to stop them. The defensive strength of the defensive barrier depended on the controller's strength. Inside the 100-spirit formation, Qi Rui's eyes glowed. He knew that the Blood Qilin Mountain was under attack and Lin Yun wouldn't be able to hold on for long. They had to race against time. If they were killed before Lin Yu was healed, then everything would be for naught. Qi Rui knew that the opponent had calculated this and attacked at the crucial moment of healing. If they could stop when they were clearing the body, they couldn't stop at the crucial moment of healing the Divine Sea. Increasing the speed was the only thing Qi Rui could grasp and the only way to resolve this predicament. Chapter 1833. War Emperor Lin, the ones here today are two elders from the Black Dragons, Long Yang and Longya. These are two mad dogs. Once the defensive formation is broken, I'll hold them off for a while. Hurry over to the 100 Spirits formation. Lin Yun said to Lin Piaomiao as she controlled the defensive formation. Lin Piaomiao shook her head. However, her impression of the Blood Qilin clan had improved. Lin Yun still asked her to retreat at such a critical moment. This was a display of virtue. However, she couldn't retreat because this involved Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow's attention was focused on treating Lin Yu. If he was disturbed at this moment, the consequences would be severe. If it was light, he would be severely injured. If it was serious, he might even go berserk. Long Yang and Longya had a better understanding of the Blood Qilin clan's protective mountain array. They focused on attacking the weak points. The protective mountain array began to shake. Open up a crack. I'll go out and buy some time, Lin Piaomiao said. No, this is too dangerous, Lin Yun said as she controlled the array. I'll hold off one of them first. Only one of them can attack the formation. The formation can hold on for a while longer, Lin Piaomiao said. But I can't explain it to Father and Lord Yi. Lin Yun refused at first. Hurry up, there's not much time left. Lin Piaomiao shouted to Lin Yun. The two black dragons were very strong. Lin Piaomiao estimated that they were members of the Black Dragons who had passed their emperor's tribulation. However, she had to stand out now. Lin Yun waved her left hand and opened up a gap in the mountain guarding array. Lin Piaomiao rushed out. Longya. Kill him. Long Yang shouted at another black dragon as he attacked the mountain guarding array. The situation became a battle between the two sides. Lin Piaomiao and Longya began to fight while Long Yang attacked the shaking Blood Qilin Mountain's protective array. Chirue was very anxious, but he still steadily guided Night Sorrow's power of merit to Lin Yu's neck meridians and repair her spirit ocean. Both sides were racing against time. Forever free BFE/T look at 8 small, say MG outside the Blood Qilin Mountain's protective array, Lin Piaomiao's domain that was filled with purple light began to fight with Longya. The Black Dragons, Longya, who was originally good at fighting head-on, was suppressed by Lin Piaomiao. Lin Piaomiao had the body of Emperor Might. Her domain was supported by the Force domain. It was filled with an unstoppable momentum. Longya could not withstand it at all. Can the Grand Mountain Protection Array withstand it? At that moment, Long Yang's massive body swayed and another black dragon appeared. Doppelganger. Long Yang unleashed his clone. His true body and his clone attacked the mountain protecting array formation violently. Longya, who couldn't withstand Lin Piaomiao's attacks, also used his doppelganger. While switching between his original body and his doppelganger, he also continuously cooperated with Long Yang to attack the protective mountain array. With an explosion, the Blood Qilin Mountain's mountain guarding formation was broken under the combined attack of Long Yang, his clone, and Longya. It was not that the Blood Qilin Mountain's mountain guarding formation was not good enough. It was because the Black Dragons had specially studied the mountain guarding formation of the Blood Qilin Mountain and knew the weak points. In addition, the 100 Spirits Great Array at the peak of the Blood Qilin Mountain had been fully activated. It had absorbed the energy that was supposed to be used for the mountain guarding formation, causing the mountain guarding formation to be broken. After the mountain guarding formation was broken, Qi Rui's body flashed with light. A doppelganger flashed and then came out of the 100 Spirits Great Array. Since the mountain guarding formation was broken, he had to fight. Even if the doppelganger's battle would affect his original body's state of mind, he had to fight. Qi Rui had just arrived at the battlefield. Before he could attack Long Yang and Longya, a middle-aged man wearing a black robe with golden edges and a golden crown appeared. Long Zai, do you really want the Blood Qilin clan to fight to the death with the Black Dragons? Qi Rui looked at the middle-aged man wearing the golden crown and asked. Qi Rui, if this king was afraid of the Blood Qilin clan's endless threats, he wouldn't have come today. The black-robed man called Long Zai by Qi Rui said. He was the king of the Black Dragons, Long Zai. Well, since we have already shed all pretense of cordiality, no matter what happens in today's battle, you just have to wait for the Black Dragons to be attacked by me. I have been defending passively for many years and my vow to not take the initiative to attack others is broken today. In the name of my ancestors, I am willing to accept any punishment. Qi Rui looked up at the sky and said. As soon as Qi Rui's voice fell, a black light appeared in the sky. The black light fell on Qi Rui and enveloped him. When the black light dissipated, a black lightning-shaped mark appeared in between Qi Rui's eyebrows. Fallen Qilin. Qi Rui, are you crazy? Long Zai was stunned. Ha! Not fighting and not fighting, but it became the capital for others to humiliate the Blood Qilin clan. Today, I gave up my merit body and fell into the darkness to make the Black Dragons pay the price in blood. Qi Rui pointed at Long Zai and shouted. Kill! Long Zai moved. His doppelganger appeared and attacked Qi Rui with his doppelganger. Qi Rui had no choice but to choose the fallen path because he knew that Long Zai would fight with his doppelganger. If he did not choose the fallen path to increase his combat strength, he would not be able to stop Long Zai when his original body could not fight. The battle became intense and the battlefield moved towards the 100 Spirits formation. Lin Piaomiao suppressed Longya and kept Long Yang restrained. In the 100 Spirits formation, Qi Rui stood up. He had finished guiding Lin Yu. Now, he could only rely on Night Sorrow to save Lin Yu. In order to buy some time, he gave up his merit body. The price was not small. Qi Rui touched Lin Yu's cheek and then came out of the 100 Spirits formation. You dare to hurt the honorable guest of the Blood Qilin clan? Die! Qi Rui went to the battlefield and slapped at Long Yang's original body. Lin Piaomiao had to restrain Longya and Long Yang. She was stabbed in the chest by Long Yang. It was not that Lin Piaomiao's combat strength was weak. She was only a doppelganger. Long Yang and Longya were fighting with their original bodies and doppelganger. Lin Yun could only restrain one of them. Qi Rui attacked continuously and killed Long Yang's original body and Longya's doppelganger. At this time, Long Zai's original body came to stop Qi Rui. Long Zai knew that he had lost this time. It was different from what he had expected. Qi Rui had chosen the path of depravity. He was no longer a beast but a fallen sky Qilin. A fallen sky Qilin that controlled the fire of destruction was not something he could stop. After blocking Qi Rui's attack, Long Zai ordered Long Yang and Longya to retreat. He could only leave after the two elders retreated. If he retreated first, the two black dragons would have to stay in Blood Qilin Mountain. After Night Sorrow repaired the damage to Qilin Moon's divine sea and connected it to his meridians, he woke up from his meditative state. As he probed, he saw Lin Piaomiao kneeling on one knee on the ground with a long sword in her right hand. In a flash, Night Sorrow rushed out of the Hundred Spirits formation. However, he was blocked by the Hundred Spirits formation. My words are law. Activate the array. Yi Shan was furious. The Hundred Spirits formation was a gentle formation. After being affected by Night Sorrow's power of virtue, it opened a crack. Night Sorrow flashed and landed beside Lin Piaomiao. He helped her up. Sister Xian, how are you? Night Sorrow's eyes were filled with worry. I'm fine. It's just that the meridians outside my dantian are broken. I can't use my energy and can't continue fighting. Lin Piaomiao shook her head at Night Sorrow. She could see that Night Sorrow was worried and anxious. Night Sorrow used his right hand as a knife and cut open the meridians on his left wrist. My blood has strong recovery power. Drink a mouthful. Black dragons, today, I, Night Sorrow, swear that as long as I'm alive, you won't have peace. Chapter 1834. Both Qi Rui and his doppelganger joined the battle and Long Zhe was suppressed. Seeing that Qi Rui had abandoned his body of merit and transformed into a fallen sky Qilin, Long Zhe no longer had any desire to win. He just wanted to give the elder of the black dragons a chance to retreat because he had no chance of winning. Qi Rui was too strong now. Long Zhe was only passively defending. It was unrealistic for Qi Rui to defeat Long Zhe in a short period of time. After all, Long Zhe was one of the top experts in the world. After his subordinates retreated safely, Long Zhe also left in a flash. Long Zhe, remember this. I still have other things to do today. I won't chase after you. After I'm done with my business, you black dragons can wait for my revenge. If I don't kill all of you black dragons, you can say that I'm useless. Qi Rui roared at Long Zhe who was retreating. He was furious. The black dragons had provoked them again and again. They had even seriously hurt the Blood Qilin clan. He couldn't tolerate this. Long Zhe who had retreated from the Blood Qilin mountain had a change of expression. Qi Rui's combat strength was outstanding. Now that he had abandoned his body of merit and transformed into a fallen sky Qilin, his combat strength would be even stronger. No one could withstand the black dragons. However, what had happened. Long Zhe could only retreat and think of a countermeasure when he returned. Qi Rui would definitely take revenge. Long Zhe was also afraid of the consequences. Seeing that the black dragons had retreated, Night Sorrow's eyes were filled with anger. Qi Rui was taking advantage of the situation. Night Sorrow took a deep breath and helped Lin Piaomiao up. Sister Xian, are you okay? This doppelganger probably needs to rest for a while. Lin Piaomiao took out a robe and put it on over her damaged skirt. Then, she tied the robe. Night Sorrow, War Emperor Lin, my Blood Qilin clan owes you a big favor. Qi Rui cupped his hands at Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao. Then, he gave Lin Yun a storage ring. After letting Lin Yun take care of Lin Piaomiao and Night Sorrow to rest, Qi Rui entered the Hundred Spirits Great Array. Lin Yun sent Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao to their resting loft, but she wasn't in a good mood. Lin Yun took out 2 bottles of pills from her storage ring and passed them to Lin Piaomiao. These are the unity pills concocted by my father. They have great healing properties. War Emperor Lin, please take them first. I'm also in a hurry to check on my father and sister. Go. There's nothing here, Lin Piaomiao said. Lin Yun cupped her hands towards Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao before leaving. She was very anxious. Sister Xian, how are you? Night Sorrow asked Lin Piaomiao. What's wrong with your blood? His recovery ability is very strong. Now that his tendons and meridians have not worsened, he is already in the recovery stage. Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and asked. She did not understand the situation. My body contains the 8 dragon cauldrons medicine spirit. My recovery ability is a bit stronger. That unity pill should be quite effective. Hurry up and take it. Enter the space to speed up your recovery. Seeing that Lin Piaomiao's mental state had recovered a bit, Yishan felt a lot more at ease. Lin Piaomiao entered the spatial treasure to recover. Only Night Sorrow was left in the loft. He was deep in thought. He knew that the Blood Scale clan and the Black Dragons had reached a point where they would not rest until one of them was dead. The main reason was that the Black Dragons had gone too far. Since the Blood Scale clan had matters to attend to, Night Sorrow did not disturb them. He sat cross-legged and cultivated. Over the past month, Night Sorrow had not expended much energy. He had used the power of virtue to heal Linyu, but he had not expended much of it. After all, not everyone could absorb the power of virtue. He had only used the power of virtue to help Linyu open up and nourish her meridians. On the 3rd day after the battle, Lin Rui, Lin Xiao and Lin Yun went to Night Sorrow's loft. "How is the little princess?" Night Sorrow asked as he welcomed them into the loft. "Lin Yu is awake. She just needs to rest for a while. Thank you and War King Lin. Without you, Lin Yu would never have been able to wake up again," Lin Rui said as he sat down. "How are you?" Night Sorrow was worried about Lin Rui. "I am fine. I just cannot be the leader of the Blood Scale clan anymore," Lin Rui said. "I don't understand." Night Sorrow shook his head. "The Scale clan is an auspicious and virtuous beast. The Blood Scale clan is the leader. That day, it was an emergency. To increase my power, I gave up my merit body and became a fallen scale blood scale. The outside world calls it the fallen sky scale," Lin Rui said. "Is it a big deal?" Night Sorrow asked. "It is not a big deal. I may have lost my merit body, but I have not lost my virtue. I cannot be the leader, but I can be a great elder. If you need anything in the future, come to the Blood Scale clan and I can help you." Lin Rui smiled and tried to ease the tension. "I didn't prepare enough. The main problem is that the Black Dragon clan is too despicable. This time, they injured my wife. I will not let this matter rest. If my cultivation base is not high enough, then I will raise my cultivation base. They will have to pay the price." Killing intent appeared on Yishang's face. "I will not let this go either. They wanted to kill my little daughter. I cannot live under the same sky as them. They hurt an important guest of the Blood Scale clan. If I do not give them an explanation, I will not be able to face the Grand Elder of the human race. The Blood Scale clan will not be able to face the world," Lin Rui said. "It is nothing. The Blood Scale clan and the human race are good friends. As a human, I can do something for the Blood Scale clan." "This is nothing," Night Sorrow said. "Then let's not talk about this first. How is War Emperor Lin now?" Lin Rui asked. "He has entered the time acceleration treasure to recover. I do not know the details." Night Sorrow shook his head. Lin Rui told Night Sorrow to inform him immediately if there was any news about Lin Piaomiao. Then, he left the pavilion with his wife and daughter. He still had some things to deal with. 7 days later, Lin Piaomiao came out of seclusion. She used 10 days in the real world to recover in the space acceleration treasure, which was equivalent to more than a year's time. This was because her treasure, the glazed pagoda, sped up time by 40 times. "Sister Xian, how is your recovery?" Night Sorrow asked worriedly when he saw Lin Piaomiao coming out of seclusion. Lin Piaomiao saw Night Sorrow's anxious expression and quickly held Night Sorrow's hand and said, "I have completely recovered. There is not even a scar left. So don't worry." "That's good. I was worried sick." Night Sorrow heaved a sigh of relief. If anything happened to Lin Piaomiao, he would never forgive himself. He was the one who asked Lin Piaomiao to come with him. "How is Lin Yu now? Has she woken up?" Lin Piaomiao asked Night Sorrow after sitting down. She has woken up. But Patriarch Lin Rui said that she needs to rest for a period of time. Night Sorrow said while making tea. Well, that means that the hard work was not in vain. This is a good thing. Night Sorrow nodded. #Forever Free KF Reading Novels. Just as the two of them were about to leave the pavilion for the main hall of the Blood Scale Mountain, Lin Rui brought Lin Yun over. Chapter 1835. War Emperor Lin, I'm sorry that the Blood Qilin clan has not been a good host. Chirui cupped his hands at Lin Piaomiao. He knew that if it wasn't for Lin Piaomiao's desperate efforts to stop the Black Dragons, he wouldn't have had the time to guide Night Sorrow to complete the treatment of Lin Yu. You're too kind, Lord Clan Leader. It's nothing. Lin Piaomiao shook her head. Clan Leader. I'm no longer the clan leader of the Blood Qilin clan. After some consideration, I've decided to pass the position of clan leader to Lin Yun. Chirui said. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao also congratulated Lin Yun. They knew that Lin Yun didn't want the congratulations as it meant a lot to the Blood Qilin clan. Chirui giving up his body of merit was a painful thing for Lin Yun. Lin Yun returned the Blood Qilin evil slayer that had been baptized by the Holy Light pawn to Night Sorrow. As Night Sorrow had to prepare for the battle as the first vanguard of the 100-tribe alliance, he didn't stay in the Blood Qilin mountain for too long. After a few days, he left the Blood Qilin mountain with Lin Piaomiao. Worried about Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao's safety, Chirui sent them back to the Heavenly Desolate City. The Grand Elder of the Heavenly Desolate City was shocked to see Chirui with a black lightning mark between his eyebrows. It's nothing. I just gave up my body of merit and didn't become a demon. I'm still your old friend, Chirui. Chirui said as he looked at the shocked Grand Elder. Senior, please continue your chat with the Grand Elder. I'll leave with my wife first. Night Sorrow saw that Chirui and the Grand Elder had something to talk about and was about to leave. All right. You two go and rest. The Grand Elder nodded at Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao. Night Sorrow, War Emperor Lin, you know the way to the Blood Qilin Mountain. The Blood Qilin Mountain welcomes you too. You will forever be honored guests of the Blood Qilin clan. Chirui nodded at Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao who were about to leave. It could be considered a promise to them. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao returned to the courtyard after cupping their fists at Chirui again. In the courtyard hall, Pu Luo and the Great Demon King were chatting. The two of you have been gone for almost 2 months. Was the Blood Qilin Mountain fun? I only know that the Blood Qilin Mountain is an auspicious place, but I don't have the opportunity to enter it, Pu Luo said. Is it fun? I almost lost my life. Lin Piaomiao said after sitting down. This was the first time she had suffered such a serious injury. What's the situation? They were not friendly. The Humanitarian League can't take this lying down. The Demon King was dissatisfied. No, the Blood Qilin Mountain was attacked. Lin Piaomiao explained the situation. The Black Dragon clan is really despicable. Even snakes know that they have to cultivate steadily. The Black Dragon clan is really despicable. They keep fighting this and that. They even shamelessly get addicted to sneak attacks. The Great Demon King cursed. That's right. Over the years, the Black Dragons had attacked the 100 Races Alliance many times. They had attacked the human race's Tianhuang City. Some time ago, they came to investigate. This time, they attacked the Blood Qilin Mountain again. They were very annoying. In the future, kill any member of the Black Dragons you see. No wonder the human race's elders were so ruthless to us. The Black Dragons are really despicable. Night Sorrow was still angry. Luckily, Chirui had intervened in time. Otherwise, Lin Piaomiao's clone would have died. However, at this moment, he remembered the dragon language. We will remember this. If we have the chance, we will kill them. The Great Demon King said. Although the 7 founders of the Humanitarian League did not have much interaction with each other, they respected each other very much. The Great Demon King and Pu Luo were very unhappy that something like this had happened. By the way, the work you asked us to do for you is done. The Grand Elder knew that you wanted the underworld stones and found 2 in the Tianhuang city. I found 1 in the warehouse of the Puluo mountain. Pu Luo took out 3 underworld stones and handed them to Night Sorrow. I didn't do it for nothing. I also got 2 pieces. I reckon that all the stock in the human race world has been brought here. The Great Demon King took out 2 underworld stones. 5 pieces. In addition to the original piece, I have 6 pieces. That's enough. There are still 3 months before the competition for the number 1 vanguard of the 100 Races Alliance. There's not enough time. I'll go cultivate after the competition, Yishan said. Elder Lin, we might have to fight this time. The conditions for the 100 Races Alliance's first commander have been released. We can participate. The Great Demon King said with a smile. I won't participate this time. With you around, the first commander will also stay in the human race. Lin Piaomiao said. Are you going easy on me? The Great Demon King put down his teacup and said with some dissatisfaction. I'm not going easy on you. I'm not injured. Although I'm fine now, I still need to recuperate. The main point is that I feel that our humanitarian league cannot allow our own people to take action against each other. No matter how big the conflict of interest is, we can't set this precedent. Lin Piaomiao said. Top of chapter, that makes sense. This Demon King is being petty. Deal. Let's not talk about favors. In the future, when we meet the Black Dragons, this Demon King will kill them and drag them back to eat with wine. I will call Elder Lin. The Great Demon King cupped his hands at Lin Piaomiao. Night Sorrow, your spear seems different. Pu Luo looked at the spear on Night Sorrow's back and said. It is different. After being baptized in the holy light pond of the Blood Qilin clan, it is now the virtuous spear. It suits me very well. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Night Sorrow's Blood Qilin evil-slaying spear had been baptized in the holy light pond of the Blood Qilin clan for a month and completed its evolution. It had absorbed some energy from the holy light pond and the Blood Qilin tailbone had also absorbed some merit power. This spear is powerful. It's a good weapon. You have to give it to your main body. Pu Luo said. Cultivators would usually equip their main body with their best weapons and armor because the main body was the most important. It had to maintain the highest combat power. The death of the main body and the death of the clone were completely different. There's really no need for that. My main body's weapon is not bad either. Night Sorrow said with a smile. I didn't notice anything different about your main body's weapon. Pu Luo asked. That is the Origin Divine Spear. The tip of the spear is made of reincarnation stone. After being nourished by the origin of 2 worlds, the effect is still very good. The main thing is that the spear has been with me since I was hunting in the past. In other words, before I started cultivating, the spear has been with me. It has a perfect compatibility, Night Sorrow said. The Origin Divine Spear is also more powerful. It seems that you have your own considerations. Then get ready. If the 100 Races Alliance's first vanguard and first commander are both in our humanitarian league, then our humanitarian league will become famous. Pu Luo was more excited. Great Demon King, can you do it? Night Sorrow looked at the Great Demon King and asked with a smile. What are you asking? When have I ever failed? Can you do it? The Great Demon King retorted, his eyes landing on Lin Piaomiao. Chapter 1836. Ha! You don't have the final say. Only Sect Elder Lin has the final say. The Great Demon King acted as if he didn't see everyone's disdain. Everyone understood what the Great Demon King meant. Would this work? He was referring to the relationship between a man and a woman. Equals original. T/A equals original. Lin Piaomiao looked at the Great Demon King and spat out 2 words, shameless. The Great Demon King laughed, shameless? Why don't I feel that you guys are the ones doing shameless things? You guys are going off topic while chatting. Let's stop joking. If the first commander and first vanguard are both in our humanitarian league, then our humanitarian league's fame will greatly increase. Pu Luo said. Night Sorrow took a deep breath. I can only do my best to keep this first vanguard in our human race. Night Sorrow is fine. This Demon King will also be fine. The Great Demon King said. Pu Luo and Lin Piaomiao both nodded. They naturally had a measure of strength in their hearts. In the last 100 Race Alliance conference, Lin Piaomiao obtained the first commander position. At that time, she was a middle-class emperor rank. Of course, she had the strength to fight above her rank. Back then, she couldn't be compared to now. Now, she surpassed peak emperor rank and became a cultivator that passed 6 calamities. The Great Demon King was on par with her. Therefore, there was no suspense in the competition for the first commander position. After staying in Desolate City for 2 days and sending Qi Rui off, Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao left Desolate City and went to Yawu Mountain first. Yi Shang gave the Yellow Spring Stone to his main body and merged it with his main body. The 100 Race Alliance conference was about to begin. Therefore, Night Sorrow planned to leave Yawu Mountain for a period of time. King Yawu agreed to this. In addition, a few days ago, Night Sorrow's main body told King Yawu everything that happened on Blood Kirin Mountain. You too, be careful. You're the best among the young generation, but there are many experts in the older generation. Piaomiao, you've seen it too. The black dragons are indeed very strong, said King Yawu. Yes, that black dragon King Longzhe is very domineering. If he wanted to kill me, even if my original body and doppelganger were to stay together, we wouldn't be able to hold on for long. Lin Piaomiao nodded. He's a cultivator who's gone through a few imperial tests, so he's not someone who hasn't gone through an imperial test can stop. However, there's still a big gap between him and Qi Rui. This time, he caught Qi Rui trying to save his daughter, so he didn't have time to spare. Instead, he made a big mistake. Qi Rui won't let them go. The Blood Kailan King in the past and the Fallen Sky Kailan now are completely different, said King Yawu. So, if the Black Dragons can't withstand Qi Rui's revenge, they'll be in danger of being destroyed? Asked Lin Piaomiao. It's not that simple. Longzhe hasn't been the Black Dragon King for a long time. The most powerful one was the previous Black Dragon King, Long Tianyuan. Long Tianyuan had a battle with the city lord of Tianhuang City. After he was injured, he gave up the position of the Black Dragon King. Longzhe is his successor. Qi Rui is very strong, and he'll be even stronger after transforming into a Fallen Sky Kailan. He can suppress any of the Black Dragons, but he can't kill them all by himself. However, this is a potential threat to the Black Dragons. The Black Dragons can't follow Qi Rui all the time. If they don't, Qi Rui can kill them whenever he wants. It's a headache for anyone, explained King Yawu to Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao. The Black Dragons forced Qi Rui to give up his virtuous body and become a Fallen Sky Kailan. It's a pity, said Night Sorrow. However, he couldn't stop this from happening. There's nothing to be sorry about. Fallen Sky Kailan is the glory of the Qilin clan. The Fallen Sky Kailan that appeared in history were all very strong. Not only would they not be despised by the Qilin clan, they would also be respected. This is because no member of the Qilin clan would be willing to give up their virtuous achievements to become a Fallen Sky Kailan. Once a Fallen Sky Kailan appears, it will automatically become the supreme of the Qilin clan, explained King Yawu to Night Sorrow. It's very complicated. However, the defense and strength of the Blood Kailan Mountain are indeed a little weak. If the Black Dragons attack with all their strength, can they stop it? Asked Night Sorrow. You're thinking too much. This is an unexpected situation. In order to save his daughter, Qi Rui didn't control the protective formation himself. Even if his wife controlled it, it wouldn't be that easy to break it. According to the analysis of the situation at that time, if Qi Rui's wife, Lin Xiao, could take action, she would only need to hold Long Zhe back for a moment. Would the other black dragons have a chance to survive? Moreover, if the battle was in a stalemate for a while, the Fire Kailan clan and the Black Kailan clan would come to support. Then, the battle would be over. King Ye-Wu explained to Night Sorrow. It wasn't that the Blood Kailan mountain wasn't strong enough. It was just that the situation this time was beyond everyone's expectations. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow understood the reason behind it. Alright, go back and accompany your family for a while. Then, go to the 100 Clan Alliance conference. Remember, stand up straight. No matter what, you're not inferior to anyone. You're also not inferior to anyone in terms of background. Don't worry about this and do it boldly, said King Ye-Wu to Night Sorrow. Thank you, Uncle Master. I understand. Night Sorrow nodded. He knew that King Ye-Wu was worried that he would feel that he was of low birth and that he was inferior to others. If he didn't speak up, he wouldn't have the confidence to do things. Night Sorrow and Lin Piao went down the mountain. Uncle Master is worried that you don't have the confidence. What are you afraid of? Lin Piao looked at Night Sorrow and said with a smile. Night Sorrow didn't say anything because Lin Piao was right. He would do what he thought was right. He would never be afraid because of his background. Night Sorrow and Lin Piao first went to the ethereal imperial city to stay for a day before returning to the 9-domain world. Apart from accompanying his family, Night Sorrow cultivated his spear skills. The number 1 vanguard of the 100 Clan Alliance wasn't a battle between individuals. It was a battle between clans and destiny. He had to work hard. Besides, he also hoped to see his brothers and sisters at the 100 Clan Alliance conference. The heavenly desolate city gradually became lively because the leaders of the various clans had arrived with the young talents of their clans. Why was the human clan the leader of the 100 Clan Alliance? Because the human clan was currently the strongest. Not only did they have 2 almighties, but they were also outstanding among the younger generation. The number 1 commander was from the human clan and the number 1 vanguard was also from the human clan. This gave the human clan the absolute right to speak. Qi Rui came with his 2 daughters. The Blood Qilan clan wasn't here to participate in the competition. They were here to observe the conference and also to cheer for Night Sorrow. Clan leader Qi Rui, you haven't shown up for so many conferences in the past. Why are you here this time? Are your clansmen participating? An old man came to Qi Rui's residence in the VIP building. I'm no longer the clan leader of the Blood Qilan clan. I'm not here to let my clansmen compete for the number 1 vanguard and the number 1 commander. I'm here to cheer for a little guy. This is what I, Qi Rui, have agreed to, Qi Rui said. Chapter 1837. Clan leader Lingxi, there's no need to be shocked. Something just happened and I made a different choice, Qi Rui said. Sigh. The gray-robed elder with a single horn sighed. He knew that something must have happened to the Blood Qilan clan. Otherwise, Qi Rui would not have made such a choice. After chatting for a while, Qi Rui told clan leader Lingxi about what happened a few days ago. Damn it, the black dragons are going to turn the world upside down. We have to contain and attack them. Otherwise, things like this will continue. We don't know how many times it will happen. They are too unscrupulous now, clan leader Lingxi said angrily. After the 100 Race Alliance conference ends, I will settle the score with them, Qi Rui said. His mentality was different from before. In the past, Qi Rui had a peaceful aura. Everything was for peace. After giving up on merit, he wanted to stop killing with killing. At that moment, on an island, a middle-aged man in a golden robe stood with his hands behind his back. He looked up at the sky. A golden dragon was flying in the sky. Golden energy claws slapped the ground. A moment later, the golden dragon turned into a young man. This dragon traversing 9 heavens is a little too difficult, the young man said. Idiot, there is no one in the Golden Dragon clan who can't use the dragon traversing 9 heavens after cultivating to the Imperial Emperor realm. Why is it so difficult for you? the golden-robed middle-aged man said. I'll update K new you most plus fast on 6N, I don't want to learn it, the young man said softly. There is still a month in the outside world before the 100 Race Alliance conference. This time, the Golden Dragon clan will be participating. Time here is accelerated 100 times. In other words, you have 8 years. If you can't master the dragon traversing 9 heavens in 8 years, don't expect to leave. Just stay here and calm down, the golden-robed middle-aged man said. Uncle, I have already received the inheritance and cultivated to the Imperial Emperor realm. I feel very good. Let your son or daughter go to the 100 Race Alliance conference. The young man said. This young man was none other than Long Jin, who had been taken away by the Golden Dragon King. Pa! The golden-robed man flashed and slapped the back of Long Jin's head, causing Long Jin to stagger. You know that this is the pain in this king's heart, yet you still dare to pour salt on the wound? Your parents ran away, your cousins ran away. This king couldn't be bothered to catch them. Now, he's using you as a scapegoat. You have to do it whether you want to or not. Because this king has decided to enforce the family law, starting with you. Why me? In the past, I lived well. I had brothers, wine to drink, and fights to fight. Uncle, why didn't you go and catch others? Why did you catch me? Long Jin was unconvinced. Does this king need you to teach him how to do things? Just 8 years. If you can master the dragon traversing 9 heavens in 8 years, then nothing will happen. If you want to go out and play, then go out and play. If you can't, you know what I mean. I'll lock you up for a few million first, and then we'll talk about it later. This king probably won't care about you, because other than the two of us, the rest of the Golden Dragon clan are living very freely. The golden-robed middle-aged man flashed and disappeared. This is an unlucky guy. He's going to be the scapegoat. Long Jin understood. Now, the Golden Dragon clan was being carried by the Golden Dragon King himself. The other members had all run away. The Golden Dragon King had caught him to be the scapegoat. Pa! Another slap came out of nowhere, causing Long Jin to stumble back a few steps. You're right. You're the scapegoat. But no one dares to say that this king is an unlucky guy. People had to lower their heads under someone else's roof. Long Jin felt that it was better to master the dragon traversing 9 heavens first. When he could go out, he would be a dragon swimming in the sea. In fact, Long Jin wasn't the only unlucky guy. Tianyu was also living in an abyss of suffering. They were all seedlings that the clan had high hopes for. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been thrown into the 9-domain world. They were brought back to the clan and naturally received the most rigorous training. Other than that, the Green Rock clan was also having a headache because the Xian 1 clan would come and cause trouble for them. Tianyu's memory was partially correct. He was the child of the Green Rock clan's prince and Xian 1 clan's princess. His parents had already disappeared and eloped. It was his great ancestor, old ancestor Green Rock, who brought him back. The Green Rock clan and Xian 1 clan had a good relationship. Now that there was a conflict, they couldn't really kill each other. Everyone wanted a child with the bloodline of the Green Rock clan and Xian 1 clan. If the Xian 1 clan wanted someone, the Green Rock clan naturally wouldn't give it to them. Tianyu was strictly taught a lesson. He cultivated according to old ancestor Green Rock's plan. But in terms of living, he was the little ancestor of the Green Rock clan, the crown prince. Tianyu was angry that he was snatched back. Outside of cultivation, he scolded whoever he caught. Those who were scolded couldn't make a sound, even if their seniority was higher. This was because old ancestor Green Rock liked Tianyu too much. Those who were scolded or had shoes thrown at them would be scolded a second time if they dared to complain to old ancestor Green Rock. In old ancestor Green Rock's words, why didn't he scold others? If he scolded you, it was either because you were ugly or because you did things that others disliked. There was no reason to speak of. Tianyu, who had awakened his bloodline talent in the clan, was already an early-stage sovereign emperor. His battle strength had also increased by leaps and bounds. He had also cultivated many of the Green Rock clan's ultimate techniques. Old ancestor Green Rock had said that as long as they didn't kill anyone, they didn't have to care about anything else. It didn't matter if they tore down houses or even set them on fire. Now that he was in the Green Rock clan, he had to let them vent and balance out their emotions. At the same time, he asked the Green Rock clan leader, who was the current Green Rock king and Tianyu's grandfather, to take Tianyu to lie low. The choice to lie low was to go to the 100 Races Alliance conference. If you find it boring, let's go out for a walk. Let's go to the 100 Races Alliance conference. You can also participate. Although you have just become an sovereign emperor, peak sovereign emperors might not be able to defeat you, the Green Rock clan leader said to Tianyu. The other opponents are fine. But if my 13th brother participates, even if he hasn't become an sovereign emperor, I definitely won't be able to defeat him, Tianyu said. Your 13th brother? The Green Rock clan leader was stunned. It's the Knight Sorrow who has always nurtured me and supported me. He's my 13th brother, Tianyu said. Knight Sorrow, this young man is now famous. He's a mighty lord of the human race and the leader of the Humanitarian League. He single-handedly defeated 5 sovereign emperors of the Demon-Winged clan. It's just that his cultivation is a little low. If he were a 6-star emperor and a peak sovereign emperor, he would be the first vanguard of the 100 Races Alliance. However, the human race's talent is still a little lacking. They can't be compared to the Divine Beast clan, said the Green Rock clan leader. Don't look at my 13th brother like an ordinary person. You'll be slapped in the face. As for the competition for the first vanguard of the 100 Races Alliance, my 13th brother will definitely participate. That's good too. When the time comes, I'll test the gap between us. Even if there's a gap, I believe it shouldn't be a problem for us to fight side by side, Tianyu said. His motivation for cultivation was to fight side by side with Knight Sorrow. Chapter 1838. Then let's set off. I wonder how Long Jin is doing and if we can meet this time, Tianyu muttered. The members of the god-slaying team had a very good relationship. Who is Long Jin? The Green Rock clan leader asked. Grandfather, you might not know, but there are a few people in our team who are in the same situation as me. Long Jin has the bloodline of dragons. He was taken away before me. There's also Yi Mei, who is very close to me. She has the bloodline of a 9-tailed fox. Someone will probably take her away. 13th brother won't stop us. He cares about us and won't stand in our way. The premise is that we're willing, Tianyu said. After you go, introduce him to me. Your 13th brother is the virtuous emperor of the human race. Give him time and his future is limitless. Our Green Rock clan took you back without informing you. That's also our fault, the Green Rock clan leader said. Knight Sorrow worked hard to cultivate his spear techniques every day. He wanted to form memories of his spear techniques and cultivate them into instincts. As long as he attacked, it would be a spear technique with soul and intent. After cultivating his spear techniques for a while, Knight Sorrow went to the side of the training ground. His wives were there. I still lack time. If I have time to cultivate the death attribute and improve my domain, I'll be more confident. Knight Sorrow drank a mouthful of water. Give others a chance. If you form a domain with 2 supreme attributes and 3 advanced attributes, how can the other imperial emperors fight you? They'll be suppressed by your domain, Lin Piaomiao said with a smile. That's true. I have to give others a chance. However, I must get the opportunity to enter the Heaven Wasteland Tower. Opportunities don't come around all the time. If there's an opportunity, I have to grab it, Knight Sorrow said. Lin Piaomiao and the others nodded. They naturally understood this. The 100 Races Alliance conference was only held once in a long time. Sometimes, it would be 2 billion years. The shortest time was 1 billion years. In other words, such an opportunity only came once in a billion years. Night Sorrow wasn't in a hurry. The great demon king had said that when the time was right, he would come to the ethereal dynasty's Night Moon Villa to look for him. Datura's clone was there, so he would be the first to know if there was any news. While practicing his spear arts, Night Sorrow also fully practiced his movement techniques and soul attacks. He wanted his combat standards to catch up with his current realm. After a month, Night Sorrow had raised his combat level to the same level as his cultivation realm. In addition, he had also cultivated a crescent blade of the soul extinguishing slash. In other words, his main body or his clone could use 3 crescent blades of the soul extinguishing slash. As for spatial rend, Night Sorrow had also strengthened it. With the help of the time attribute, spatial rend's cutting ability had become even more tyrannical. The celestial realm's spatial barrier was tough. It was unrealistic to completely cut through it. However, the power of space and time attributes' cutting ability was shocking. In addition, it had the effect of blocking and sealing. If the opponent's main body and avatar were to fight together, his spatial rend could cut through and block them. Then, the main body and avatar would attack one of them with all their strength. It would be much easier to win. A sword's edge has to be honed. Everyone knows that Night Sorrow's ability to fight above his level is very strong. However, who has seen Night Sorrow's hard work? Lin Piaomiao lamented. This was because Night Sorrow was the most hard-working cultivator she had ever seen. He's not tired. He doesn't seem tired at all, Aoi said. A normal cultivator would be frustrated and tired of cultivating like this. There's nothing to be tired of. Cultivation has its own fun, Night Sorrow said as he sat down after finishing his cultivation. I'm impressed, Yang Lei muttered. The area of the Sky City's lake has expanded a lot. Our small pleasure boat can't keep up with the pace. Find someone to build a large one. In the future, our whole family can go to the lake to enjoy the scenery, Night Sorrow said. That's fine. Godfather, bring a few craftsmen to do it, Father Gu said after trimming the flowers with a pair of large scissors. Sure. Let's see how creative you are, Father, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Life at home was the most comfortable. There was nothing to worry about. However, there were still some roads that needed to be explored. After staying for a month, Night Sorrow had to leave. Originally, Night Sorrow wanted to bring his wives and children to broaden their horizons. However, considering that there would be a lot of people going to the Sky City this time, it would be very chaotic. His family would have to bear some unnecessary risks. Therefore, he decided not to bring them. Father, little Luo, big brother, and big sister have seen the memory crystal ball of you killing the 5 demon-winged emperors. That battle allowed us to see another side of you, Father. We realized that we didn't understand you at all. In front of us, you were always the most benevolent side. Some hardships, some tribulations, we have to bear slowly. We don't have the strength to participate in your world at the moment. However, we want to understand. Please bring back the memory crystal ball of the battle. Yi Xiaoluo bowed to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow reached out to help his son up. My world has nothing to do with you. Don't think too much. Father's greatest wish is for you to grow up happily. Auntie will bring it back for you to see your father's glory, Lin Piaomiao said with a smile. Thank you, Auntie Piaomiao. Yi Xiaoluo and the rest bowed to Lin Piaomiao. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao left. He didn't have to worry about the family as they had enough resources. As for the Star Moon Lake and the Yi family's business in the celestial realm, Datura would take care of it. However, Datura only took care of some important matters and spent most of her time cultivating. Datura had her cultivation advantage. Her original body was a Datura flower created by the Heaven and Earth Bell Spirit Chi. Her original body was the main stem of the flower while her clone was the branches. Her clone had the abilities of her original body. Her original body could comprehend the heaven and earth will, so could her clone. This was her unique talent. Her cultivation speed was twice as fast as others. Back then, she told Night Sorrow that as long as Night Sorrow could do it, it would be equivalent to having 2 wives. However, Night Sorrow didn't do so. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao first went to take a look at the territory of their respective factions before heading to the Night Moon Villa in Divine Capital. The Great Demon King, Pu Luo, Ruiz, and Yu Zhu were all there. The few of them sat around a table of food and drinks. "You guys are invincible too. Don't you look like emperors at all?" Night Sorrow asked. Look at Section E, Section Z, Part 1 inch. So what if we look like this? We are the Humanitarian League. What if we become emperors in the future? You still dare to say that we don't want to come back after returning to the Land of Warmth? There are still 3 days until the 100 Race Alliance Conference. Pu